favorite podcast is Jitsandtitspodcast. I put up my tits to get down with this. My favorite podcast, Jitsandtitspodcast. We fight and then we celebrate with tits.
What's up? You're on with another episode of Jits and Tits. Damn! The Jits and Tits podcast is brought to you by Brand and Remy of Remy Fit, the premier online training outlet for combat sports athletes, focusing on the 4 pillars of performance: movement, mindset, sleep, and nutrition. Check out Brandon at RemyFit.com and be Remy Fit on Instagram.
We're also brought to you by Island Kava, Long Island's first and only kava bar, serving exotic teas and relaxing elixirs that'll help you recover and wind down after an intense training session. Island Kava is located right in the heart of Patchogue.
We are also sponsored by Total Motion 360. This new at-home fitness product combines both functional training and traditional training methods, taking it to new levels never seen before. Total Motion 360 combines landmine training and mixes movements from yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi, creating fun, total body workouts to promote balance, mobility, and strength. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Total Motion 360 and visit their website, totalmotion360.com.
We're also brought to you by Relax and Revive, which is a total mind and body optimization and rejuvenation space. When you need to feel recharged and ready to go, book an appointment or walk in and give yourself a well-deserved break. They offer access to infrared saunas, leg compression therapies, full-body LED recovery bed, cold plunge, and professional massage therapy. They also have a private room that has an infrared sauna and cold plunge in the same room to try out their contrast therapy.
Yo. What's up, boys?
Fellas?
Nice fucking Sunday, huh? The boys are here chilling.
People's white belts over here.
Another
too.
late
Silver
start.
medal crew.
Another late start by Terence Card.
Fucking what? We are 5 to 10 right now. I was down bad.
What happened? Did you stay up a little extra late when you got home?
I was up so late. No, not even. I mean, I went home, like, fed the dogs and shit, smoked a little fucking jazz cabbage.
Jazz cabbage.
Well, see, this is definitely one thing I've learned about Terence is that he is a vampire, dude.
Yeah.
The guy stays up.
There'll be times I leave here and I'm like, yo, I gotta go home, I gotta go to bed, and then I'm like messaging the group.
At like 3
in the morning.
And then you got to get up for work. It's not even like the weekend, dude. It's the weekday.
It's like Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. This guy has work and he's up till 3 in the morning.
You gotta get on my schedule, dude.
Hanging upside
Work
down.
at night. Get home at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Yo, it was a good day though yesterday for you, rip and stick with the homies.
Silver medal crew over here.
That was fucking nuts.
Yeah, so yesterday was Pride.
That was a crazy
big day,
bro.
So it was your first tournament, dude.
What'd you think?
It was crazy.
Yeah, was it crazy?
I've experienced like crazy like adrenaline, like not being to the point where I couldn't even hear, like the gi match. I straight up couldn't hear. Everything was blurred. I kind of got like ripped out. Like I was trying to get my mind right and stretch and warm up and everything like a half hour before I was supposed to go on, because I thought if anything they were running behind schedule. And then all of a sudden I literally like touched my toes like twice and they're like, yo, you're on. And I'm like, what? So then I walk in there and then Remy's like, you're gonna get DQ'd, they've been calling your name, I told them to DQ you, I told them to DQ. So then I'm like, all right, cool. So then I'm like, all right, I guess I have a minute. I'm like, Connor, everyone's fucking yelling at me and in my face. He's like, don't worry about it. You only have to worry about that woman right there. She's in charge of your match. She's going to tell you where to go.
I thought you were going to say she's the one you're going against.
Well, that would have been nice. And then all of a sudden, I'm just getting pulled down like across like all the mats, and then some kid's coming at me like blink of an eye. I'm like, okay, here we go. I guess this is happening. I couldn't hear my fucking coaches or anything. There was like some weird shit. Like I didn't think he established mount. I thought we were out of bounds, and then they go to reset us, and I'm standing, and he's like, same position, like you're on the ground. I'm like, all right, so open guard. They're like, no, mount. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the problem with Pride though. Is like if it's getting close to a dominant position and you know you're out of bounds,
they just give it to you.
No, well, they let you fight until the position's established.
Oh.
So like you were way out of bounds, but she didn't tell you to stop until you were mounted.
Yeah.
Word.
You just have to keep going until they tell you to stop.
Yeah, there's definitely shit I need to work on. Eddie, I talked about like that the no-gi match. He said I swept the kid 3 times, but I didn't like establish position, so it would have been 6 points right there.
Yeah, but you knew that though going into it from all the comp classes.
I know, I understand on like the reversal aspect, but there was times when like I looked at the scoreboard and I'm like, I don't have fucking points right now. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And I fucking still had the sweatband on when I got home last night.
That's the best part.
That marks like who's who, Luigi. I look. First of all, I look and I see it in the picture because they put up like a group shot of everyone, and then I look down at my leg and it's still on there. This dirty ass ringworm fucking. Speaking of ringworm, Remy's opponent, my boy, he's like one of the funniest kids I ever met, and he goes, "Yo, is your boy going against that kid over there in the finals?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Nastiest ringworm. That should be a DQ right there. Nastiest ringworm." I'm like, "Jay, are you fucking with me?" Because the kid's really fucking funny, and he's like Nick. He's like very believable. Like he'll lie to you, and you'll think he's telling you the truth. And
it's true.
Nick who cried wolf.
So he's the same way, and he's like, "Bro, I swear to God." And then
I didn't realize until after.
And then
you look over at the kid's arm, and it's the size of Haiti.
Yeah, but how do you,
and the crook of his elbow.
Yeah, but he had it in like 3 spots. If
the back of his knee.
If I'm rolling
that's a DQ. Did anybody say anything to the refs?
I didn't know until after. I didn't know until we were walking up to the podium, and he's like joking about it with like his coach and his mom and like all the people that were there. Like they were like saying shit, and I'm like, and then I look at him, I'm like, what the fuck? Like it was huge.
Yo, that's like, fucked up.
Yeah,
man.
see, I
on so many levels.
I would have grabbed somebody that worked at the tournament and been like, hey, listen, I need you to come with me right now, because when I get ringworm and I'm bringing it to your attention, you motherfuckers, like, you better like change your ways or something.
Yeah, they're supposed to do visual inspections of the athletes. Yeah, that's part of the job.
That's what we were saying.
You don't weigh like, no-gi though.
Also, as an athlete, if I'm competing and I have ringworm, I'm gonna wear long sleeves. So
that's what I was just gonna say, Remy. I would wear long sleeves and spats.
No, but they're supposed to, when you're weighing in, they're supposed to look at you and check you.
Well, you weigh in with your gi on.
It doesn't matter. Before you go to the match, that's what they have the ring coordinators for, the inspectors for, the refs.
Shit.
They're supposed to do that. That's
because nobody inspected me. Nobody
supposed to inspect your fingernails.
I was gonna say nobody looked at my fingernails because actually
I feel like I've never got like checked at all tournaments.
The only
I've gotten checked at
Pan Ams. I remember doing the Pan Ams and the New York Open. I would get inspected.
Yeah,
I think like Grappler's Quest was probably the only one I didn't get checked at.
Yeah, I didn't get checked at Grappler's Quest.
But Naga did it.
I don't remember Naga doing it.
Naga, yeah, they did. I mean, I weighed in like my underwear, and I don't know. They just looked at everything, looked at your fingernails.
I definitely would have taken it to somebody's attention and been like, dude, like this is acceptable, because when I break out in ringworm and I can't go train on Monday, like, now whose fault is that?
This blood is on your hands.
When all of Long Island, every gym that was there has a ringworm breakout.
Yeah, because you guys
know who
didn't
patient
wanna...
zero is.
Yeah, for real.
Because how many mats was that kid on?
How many schools are in that thing?
That's
you know what I mean? Everyone's on there.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I hope you're not on that mat." I was like, "You're a fucking dick." Like, doesn't matter. I train with Remy fucking every day, so when I'm getting it.
I have to go find alcohol pads.
So when did this tournament feel like real? Like, shit, I'm about to do this? Because I know, like, the week up to it, you were like, I'm not really excited. Like
when they were pulling them in.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Really?
Real.
Even when you got there and you heard the noise.
I felt like the energy and everything. I was getting nervous at my house. That's why I was like, you were like, I don't know if you want to hang out, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather be with you guys. You know, talk about like what's gonna go down. Get there, get acclimated to the atmosphere and everything. And it didn't. I was like, then all of a sudden they start pulling me in. I'm like, fuck. But like I didn't really. I felt like the nervous was like coming and going. It wasn't like I was nervous the entire day. I was like, oh, it's really happening. Like, you know, watching other people's matches and stuff.
You're only nervous till the first match, then it goes away.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous after the first match.
No, because you know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like when you break that first wind at the gym. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you get there, like that first roll is like, oh fuck, and then you're good.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a competition. I feel like you kind of almost. I always try to break that. I try to break that first wind in my warm up, so that I'm good to go when I'm out there. I don't like just stepping out there cold. Yeah, I'd rather try to break that first wind in my warm up, especially during my fights. When I was fighting, I learned that lesson the hard way. I'm like, yo, I need to do like 3 rounds on the pads hard and get out there like with that first wind already out, you know?
Because I had like these with me. I had like 4 of them. Not that I was going to drink 4.
And
I
a
just
shaker.
Running for the homies. And a shaker. So I had like a little pregame ritual that I was looking to do. And then all of a sudden I don't even get to drink this. And then some kids like mauling me. I'm like, yo, this is fucking bullshit. They come over to me. And they're calling my name, and I still got my gi on. I'm talking to people. Everyone's telling me it's gonna be all right. And then like, Terrence, you have another match. I'm like, the fuck I do. I'm like, I'm not wasting any more time in this fucking bullshit gi division, dude. Like, if I can't win, why the fuck am I gonna waste my energy? I still have to do the whole no gi bracket.
Yeah, right. Because if you would have went again in gi, it wasn't going for like third or fourth.
It was consolation.
No, it was consolation. So I'm like, I don't fucking, what the fuck am I doing? And Dylan, you know, he brought up a good point. He's like, you never competed before. It's a free round. You know, it's more experience. And I'm like, but it doesn't fucking mean anything. So like,
right.
You know,
yeah, you're gonna get the experience.
And then Eddie brought up a good point too. He's like, "What if I got washed in that match too? Then I'm not even gonna want to do fucking no-gi."
Correct. Yeah, you made the right decision.
Or what if you got hurt?
Yeah, like it's just if it's something that counts for nothing. I'm like,
especially if the whole point of the competition is to compete. So like that's not really a competitive match. You made the right decision.
Exactly.
Let me go put my energy into the next one that matters.
Yeah.
I know I seem like a bad sport because I wasn't even like really. I mean, I was definitely being a bad sport. I was just like, "Fuck you, get fucked."
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Yeah,
no one can tell you.
I knew I still had to fucking compete. So
I took a consolation match at Sogi, but I was done for the day.
It's 2022. You could be told how to feel.
I hate to say this, but Luigi's got a point.
I love how Luigi put his finger up on that one. Wait a second. Hold on. 1 minute. Can I stop you in that for a second?
Luigi.
Speaking.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of that my Sogi match, me and Terence beat the same kid in a triangle.
Yeah, that
kid was so weird, bro. It's weird when someone's coming at you in fucking spats and no shorts with a little dingling, fucking flying around. And he's like moving like really weird. He's moving like I don't even know, like a grasshopper or something. He looked like he was fucking like
yeah,
like open palm. Like
he was a weirdo.
The kid was so strange.
So I know it was your first competition. You only been training like a year, but there's rules.
You have to let go
when the guy taps, you let the submission go.
I was hyped, dude.
Terrence, don't feel bad. My first MMA match, dude, I caught the kid in a rear naked choke, and I was squeezing, and he's tapping. The ref is smacking me to let go, and I was like, I can't let go right now, dude.
That happened to me. And
feels too good.
It does. It felt way too good, bro.
It took a while to finish it because I had like the arm across, and this kid's like eating it, and I cut the angle. I scooped his leg. There's a picture of it. It's in deep, and this kid all of a sudden he puts his
I saw him raise his hand.
He puts his hand up like this. He puts his hand up like this, like he's gonna tap, like he's like thinking about. So he's like right here. He's not really defending, and I see a hand come up slowly, and then I start rocking my head, and I'm like, yeah, like this is really fucking happening, dude. It felt good just to get a fucking win. Like,
of course it did, man.
I had a similar experience in my first real sanctioned MMA fight. I won by guillotine. And
that's a shocker.
I had the guillotine, and it was like in my own corner, and the ref was behind me, and I slap it on, and I feel him tapping, and I hear my corner yell he's tapping, but I don't feel the ref. And then I get tapped, and I don't know if it's the ref tapping. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I'm not letting this go because I don't know if the ref sees this, and like I'm not doing this again. And so I just kept it on, and the ref finally like grabbed my hand and pulled it off, and I looked at my corner, and they were like, and I was like, was that too long? They're like, nope. You go to the ref tells you. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, the ref was pulling me off, and I wanted the kid to be out. I wanted to get off a lifeless body, so I held it a little too long, dude. I got yelled at in the back.
Did he go out?
By the athletic commission?
The ref that was in the cage. He's actually a ref now for the UFC, but he came in the back yelling at me. Yo, when I tell you to get off somebody, you get off them, like barking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you consciously held it. See, me, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if that's the ref. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't want them to not see this because like maybe it's a bad angle. Because the kid, I was like filleting him, so like he was like turtle, and I was standing over him, and he was tapping like underneath my leg. So like he was tapping my thigh, and I'm like, I don't know if the ref fucking sees this. I'm not letting this shit go.
Yeah. No, I was working on demon time, dude. I wanted that kid to be out cold.
Moving demonically.
Yeah, serious. Yeah, so then you did no-gi, dude, and it was like a completely different Terry G out there, bro.
Yeah,
you look good out there.
I felt way more calm. I was able to hear the coaches. I was able to hear you guys talking. Like you could see in the second match, I saw the scoreboard and I was up 8-2, and I'm in the kid's close guard, and I'm like, I could get out of this, but like if I get out of it, he could sweep, he could go quick mount, and then all of a sudden we're back tied. Fucking
he was also weirdly, he had a body triangle on.
Yeah, I felt that. I'm like, all right, this makes me even more fucking comfortable because this kid's not jumping triangles.
Yeah, exactly. He's not like active at all.
He's not arm barring me if he's got a body triangle on me, because we talked about that, because remember we were watching a fight and
Kevin Holland
and they kept locking up a body triangle, and I'm like, that's not offensive at all. That's like just a stalling position.
Kevin Holland did that against I don't remember who it was, but we were all here watching. Like, yo, he's not even attempting to get up.
Yeah.
You're not attempting to get up, and like, you're really not attempting to do anything except sit there. So I'm like,
because
all right,
you
if you
can't
want
do
to chill
anything with
here,
your hips.
if you want to chill here, a couple times he controlled my head, was breaking my posture. I heard the coaches saying, "Get your hand off."
Yep.
They said, "Let's work to get out," but I knew I was up 8-2, so I'm like, I could chill.
How much time was left?
He had me in his clothes
2
guard for like
minutes, 3 minutes?
Yeah, I think
minutes.
when that body triangle was going on, it was probably like 2:30 or something like that.
Yeah, fuck it. Let
You
him.
know what I'm saying? I'm like,
it was-
I have a 6-point cushion, and if I
Yeah, let him sit there. Then.
It
And
was
then
so
he goes-
funny though because like you're sitting there, he's in the body triangle.
this is great.
And Terrence goes to, he has one hand on the belly button, he goes to push the back leg, and we're all like, no! And
The
he
whole
stops,
crowd screams
He
no.
stops and smiles at us.
And I'm like, I know. I was like, I know. I was like, I know, because that's Triangle City. If you reach one arm back, you're doing the guy's work. You're doing the guy's work for him.
Yes.
But like, I know that. And then I did it, and everyone was like, "Yo, were you fucking with us?" And I was like, "It's stupid." But like, honestly, I was like, I just want to see, like, get a feel for like his legs. I was like, there's no way this kid's gonna throw one up. I'm very comfortable defending triangles. So.
yeah, but you probably also just doing it just like watch our faces. Bro.
Yeah, I heard dude. There was a lot of people watching me, and fucking
Everybody at
everyone,
the same time.
even Taylor, who's like never seen jiu-jitsu before, was like, "No!"
That shit was so funny because at Pride now you're not allowed to like have coaches by the table.
They have to be behind.
They have to be with the
barrier.
spectators. So the whole thing is blocked off with blue barricades, and it's just the competitors, the coordinators, the officials, the timekeepers. That's it.
So, is that because COVID doesn't go past that
I have
barricade?
no
No,
idea,
no, no.
And it
but
only-
it probably started from that. To be honest with you, dude.
No, that's how IBJJF does it in their IBJJF run.
Oh, okay. So everybody's at the blue barricade. There's probably like, I don't know, 12, 13 of us all lined up in a straight line. Some are behind each other. And he touches that fucking leg, dude.
Everyone screams.
Yeah, it was like someone hit a home run. Everyone was like cheering, but it was the opposite.
The opposite. Yeah. Like, don't fuck this up. Yeah.
Don't do it, dude. That shit
That's
was
so
so funny. It really was so funny.
Let's talk about the MC.
Oh, my god.
Dave, I've been watching these guys compete. This is my third Pride. I don't believe he was at the Sports Arena Pride, the first Pride he was there? Okay.
Yes, he was.
Well, I remember him vividly at Hofstra because this was when, like, we were done with masks. When was this, Rem? This was last fall or some shit?
What?
When was Pride at Hofstra and, like, Union
I
Dale?
didn't do Hofstra.
No?
It was pretty recent.
I did. I think it was like in
It was recent.
August. Like,
So we're done with wearing masks, and this guy, we had to wear a mask to get in there, and this guy's like into the mic, "Put your mask up. We're gonna stop every match until the mask." I'm like, "The fuck you are? Like, we're spectators. What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "This tournament's already running like behind schedule, and you're telling me that, like, because you see us 1 or 2 spectators that don't have their masks on, like, get the fuck out of here." And the guy was saying it all fucking day.
yeah, he actually stopped the tournament too.
That was when we went to see Bosco.
That was Hofstra one.
Yeah, Hofstra, yeah.
But what's
He
funny-
actually stopped the tournament, bro.
Yeah, they stopped running the tournament. They were like, he's like, "This is ridiculous. We're all adults in here." He's like, "I shouldn't be telling you to wear a mask. We're not going to continue until everybody's wearing a mask." And I was actually saying it by myself, and Dylan was competing, so everybody was over at Dylan's mat, and I was on like the side trying to like get some good shots. And I'm looking down at my camera to hear him say this, and I'm like, "I'm not putting my mask on, dude. I'm not doing it."
No.
How
I
ridiculous is that, bro? Like, it's a jiu-jitsu tournament. You're
Yeah.
going to get as close as humanly possible.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody in this building
Yeah.
is going to be
Touched
pushed on top of each other. What is the like? What?
You know how many bodily fluids are being exchanged in that?
Yeah, well,
fucking
the
room?
competitors they have to wear masks.
They're worried about masks, but they don't check you for fucking ringworm.
Yeah,
No,
right.
It's retarded.
Get
dude.
fucked.
It's retarded.
But the kid had it in 3 spots. That was fucking
Yeah.
gnarly, man.
I felt disgusting. And then, it's man funny. And then I'm trying to find a shower. They don't have a fucking shower there. And the
Isn't it a high school?
Yeah.
that's what I said. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking high school.
They probably
They're not
did,
going
but
to have those locker rooms
yeah,
open. Dude,
not for-
the fucking water fountains weren't working. You think they're going to have
Wait,
showers?
no,
Water,
so where'd
water
you end up-
fountains aren't allowed to be turned on.
Oh, because of
In
COVID.
store, yeah, they haven't been allowed to be turned on in like 2 years. It's the fucking best thing for me because all I got to do is put the water fountain on the wall. I don't even have to hook the thing up, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm good. Just back on the wall, don't even hook it up, and I can leave.
Dude,
I'm like,
that's
all right,
amazing.
see you later.
Wait, Rem, so where'd you end up showering?
I got alcohol pads from the fucking the EMTs.
Oh,
wipes?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude wipes.
Oh, okay. Because it was so funny because Taylor's like, "Do you have soap?" Like from Remy. I'm like, "Yeah, I have like 2 different like body washes. One of them's really good." So I'm like, give Remy the good one. I'm like, that was fucking disgusting. And then the security guard he's talking to, trying to get him to a shower, he's like, this is grossing me out, man. I want to take a shower. I'm gonna start carrying soap around.
Bro, that same security guard, fucking, he's a retard. Bro, he's like, I'm like, yo, is there a shower around? I'm like, the last dude I just fucking went again had like ginormous ringworm, and he's like, oh dog, it's all good. He's like, it's just ringworm. He's like, you'll be good till you get home. And I look at him, I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
What was he from the South?
Bro, it's exactly what he said to me.
Sound like a Southern accent came on.
Bro.
That impression, dude.
And I was like, are you fucking for real right now? I'm like, it's a ringworm, bro.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
security
I'm not
guard.
fucking waiting till I get home.
No.
Well, there's a reason why that guy's a security guard and not, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because there was this one kid, man. He's like constantly running around the entire tournament, and I had my camera with my gimbal, and this kid crashed into me one time before.
Like a kid or like
like he was probably like, I don't know, anywhere from like 18 to 25. And he fucking runs into my arm, and like my hand goes like forward, and I'm like, yo, and he like turns around, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then like an hour later, the same kid comes running by again, dude, and crashes into my arm. I'm like,
What's
hey,
he
yo, I
running?
yell at him. I'm like, yo, what the fuck you doing, man?
What's he running for?
Dude, he was just running around the entire tournament. It was ridiculous.
Was he like trying to like lose weight for a match? Like,
No,
what-
I think he was going from like match to match,
yeah,
competitor.
from
to
side to
Oh, he was a
competitor.
coach.
I think so. I don't think he
Oh.
was. I think he was just a teammate.
Yeah, just part of it.
Yeah, and just got like caught up in the hype. But like the second time he did it, I made like a stink. I'm like, yo, I like yelled at him, and he kept running. And the security guard's like, yeah, guys can't walk around here. And I'm like, nah, dude. I'm like, that's the second time he fucking crashed into me.
Speaking of the whole coaching thing, bro, what happened when we got there? I thought, like, I was so confused when we showed up because I thought, like, you had told me when I showed up.
I said you were Brandon Remy's spectator.
Right. So we walk up, and Kat's like, nah, you got to go to that other table. I'm like,
Yeah, she
all
was
right.
being like weird.
So I go over there thinking like, and I go to the kid. I'm like, hey, you have a ticket for me? I was a spectator. He's like, no, I do coaches. I'm like, okay. So I go back to the table. I'm like, this guy told me he's not doing tickets. I'm like, what desk am I
he's the
going
one.
to?
I guess she was saying like, I don't know if she was just trying to get you in as a coach.
She was.
Yeah.
She did the
I
same,
just
she did the same thing to me. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got your bracelet right here.
Well, she was being so strict about weigh-ins. Like we weigh in, it's like we get there. I don't know. It's like 4:00. She's like, she was very adamant that you couldn't weigh in more than 2 hours before. Like I'm like, all right, like whatever. And then
Well, maybe she couldn't like be so lenient.
no, that's fine.
in
With
that
her, she works
aspect
at a lot
it.
of them, so she doesn't want to be biased towards like her teammates. Because like if she's gonna turn down a Kyoto kid who wants to weigh in more than 2 hours
Right.
before, like it's a bad look. Totally understand that. But when I text her, I'm like, hey, do we have to buy spectator tickets in advance? And then I was like, what's the deal with coaches? Because last time I went to Sogi, the coaches had to pay $20 to get in. And they're
Yeah, that's
coaches.
ridiculous.
That's
so
crazy.
I'm like, what? So I'm like, I just wanted to make sure because I was gonna cover the guys. Like if they I was just trying to get everyone covered. And she goes, coaches are allowed, but they have to be legit. It can't be like your wife or your girlfriend or something like that. It has to be a legitimate coach. So I'm like, all right, they're good, and then we'll get spectator tickets for the rest. But I guess she was just trying to hook you up.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that, and I got confused. So like, she sends me back to the kid, and I'm like, all right, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, I guess my name's on the list. He's like, what's your name? So I tell him my name, and I thought it was spectator again. And he's like, I don't have you on here. He's like, these are coaches. He's like, so who are you coaching? And I was like, Terence Carr and Brandon Remy. He's like, what gym? I was like,
Breathe.
And then he's like points to a name, and it's Danny's name. He's like, I have Danny. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I
like-
told you.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, but I'm here. And he's like, all right, I need your name and phone number. I'm like, this is weird, man. And like, he writes me down on the paper. I'm like, I hope this doesn't like
Get back to
get back and like look funky. Like, what's going on right now? And like, I didn't know that Danny wasn't even there. So I'm like, oh man, this is like, I hope this doesn't backfire. I was so confused, dude. I mean, I'm not mad at getting
At the
in
end of
there
the
for
day,
free.
they like start saying the whole like team thing. They're like, and Breathe Jiu-Jitsu coached by David.
yeah, dude. I was like,
Rock.
oh man. I was like, I hope this doesn't turn out to be a bad look.
Yeah, I guess she had more like wiggle room for that because when I walked in, it was just like, oh, I got your bracelet, and I'm just like, oh, word.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm happy. That was
Yeah,
cool, but I
yeah.
just was so confused.
I walked
Yeah,
Taylor
like,
in.
give me a heads up before we do this interaction,
Because
please.
she gave you yours, and she's like, you go to that table, and I'm like, that's strange, but okay.
Yeah.
And it's not a table, it's a desk, and it's just some kid who's just like, huh? What?
He got like a broken leg or
Oh,
like a
that kid?
cast.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and, like,
he was
I'm-
just sitting there like not even paying attention the whole day.
So I was so confused, man. I'm like, so I went back and forth 2 times, and she's like, that one over there, that's coaches. I'm like, what? I'm like, why am I here as a coach? This is like what?
Yeah, I
No,
think
but
she
you
was
should have
just trying
been a
to help that.
spectator because I bought 2 spectator tickets.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
I walked
Whatever.
Taylor in, and like she was gonna be Dylan. Like I was supposed to Venmo Dylan or whatever for her. So I walk her up. I'm like, she just needs a bracelet. They're like, okay, slap the bracelet on her. Didn't ask any questions. I was like, what?
Well, she got there like later in the tournament.
Yeah, later in the tournament, exactly. Like they
As
didn't
the
give a
tournament
fuck.
goes on, the worse it gets, man.
Of course, the first video that I pull up is Terence
Who
going for
put that up?
Taylor.
Oh, no.
Watch that, Luigi. Sorry to cut you guys off.
And speaking about when things get later, dude,
Watch that.
Dude.
is that him not letting go? Wait, I want to
No,
see
that's
it.
him fucking his face. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, he starts bouncing his head.
I want to see it because I didn't get like a.
pass the phone over.
fucking awesome. And then the picture to go with it is
Did you see Luigi? Did you see my
Scroll to
my
the
story last
left.
night? Sam from Breathe. She got a video
Just
of
watch
me
one
when
more
they were
time.
going to put my hand up. So they put my hand up in one direction, and then they go to turn me around, and I turn the wrong way. It's like the most awkward video.
that's like,
I saw that. That
so
was like
awkward.
Terrence, that is. There's a famous submission, Nate Diaz, Kurt Pellegrino in like 2008,
Yes.
where Diaz snatches up a triangle, flips off the guy's corner, and holds the triangle a little like longer, and then flexes. That's like that's your moment.
I didn't even remember doing that. Like it was like fucking. When I saw the video, I'm like,
I could just hear you like that little laugh that you do as
Yeah.
you're fucking doing that.
I had to squeeze on though, so like I'm like my legs were like getting gas. I'm like, this
Yo.
usually isn't more than a 10-second submission.
Just one little tip since I was a coach. Next time when you got that triangle, that bottom leg, flex the foot up, all right? It'll help you finish.
Yeah.
You know what else will help you finish?
Dorsey flex of foot?
When
Yep,
you,
like instead of this,
Really?
you contract your calf on the back.
you know what you got to do when
the
you
back of the neck.
scoop the leg.
Yeah.
When you go don't go under the calf, go under the thigh and get the finger in the butt.
Oh my God.
Well, as you're
Yo,
saying
little
that,
snacks that Emma's eating, Muddy Buddies.
Muddy Buddies.
Yeah, that's
It
your
works.
name. That's the name, the Muddy Buddy.
I know, it was so funny too. Terrence was like, all right, I'm listening. Okay.
no, because I was like,
Yeah,
I
but
was
that's an
scooping-
actual-
I was like,
You
I
had
was
him,
scooping
you
the
had
thigh.
him, you had him engaged until the finger in the ass, dude.
Dude, it works.
I was like,
Try it.
I was like, I do scoop the thigh.
Scoop the leg when you go on the thigh.
I just want to say that. I just want to say one thing. The guy that he went against right there might have liked that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's not going to work then. The
It's going to get him excited. It's going to get the triangle tighter.
Okay. All right.
No, he's going to lose by orgasm.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, or he's just going to come on Terrence.
Oh
and
my
That's a
Terrence
loss.
is going to tap.
That's a loss. If you come first.
Hey, when that guy started, he wasn't wearing a cup, and now he is.
Dude, after the match, he's like, "Oh, you kicked my ass," and then he's like, "What did I do wrong?"
You went against me,
Yeah,
dog.
exactly. I was just going to say that, dude.
You signed up.
Yo, when I was looking for the showers, I went into like the little fucking locker room over there, and of course, he's the only one in the locker room, right? So I walk in, and it's that kid, right, that you beat, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "What's up, man?" And I look up, and it's him, and I'm like, "Oh fuck." And he's like, I think we fought like a couple weeks ago. He's like at Nogi. I'm like, and I look at him like, what? And then I kind of knew who it was, but then I realized exactly who it was.
He knew exactly who it was from the fucking second Terrence went against him. You're just a dick.
No,
You're just a dick.
No, that. No, but he like caught me off guard because I wasn't paying attention when I was walking in, and then I looked up but I was like, you mean Sogi? He's like, no, it was Nogi. He's like, we were wearing Nogi. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
all right,
Sogi, dude, Sogi.
yeah. I'll see you later, dude.
So
Yo, so we were talking about before, like, you know, Taylor got there, and as the tournament goes on, it starts to deteriorate. It drives me crazy, and it's never changed. And it doesn't matter what the tournament is for the most part. At the end of the night, and I think it's pretty shitty, like, it starts when the white belts are on. Dude, my buddy Derek from Freedom was waiting around for his match in the bullpen for like 45 minutes. There's like 6 open mats.
Yeah.
There's
what
one
the
match
fuck
going.
Yeah,
The other 6 are
was-
wide open.
Nick was so. Why are there 5 open mats right now?
The
Yeah.
time that you were probably thinking it, I was verbally saying it as loud as I could, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so was I. I was
Oh.
sitting in the bullpen with Darren. I'm like, why are there 5 open mats? I'm like, the refs are all congregating at the far end table, like sitting around, like having a coffee break. I'm like, what are we on, union breaks? What are we doing? Like,
Yeah,
run the matches, dude. There's so many open mats at the end of the night. Like, I'm like, what are we doing? You got 10 people in the bullpen and 5 open mats.
Wait, they put the white belts on last?
Yeah.
See, they switched. It used to be white belts in the morning.
Yeah,
now
usually
it's
white belts first, isn't it?
It used to be white belts in the morning.
Yeah.
And then the higher belts would compete in the afternoon because they'd start at like 8, 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now it starts at 3 in the afternoon, and the white belts go at night.
The kids were in the morning.
Yeah, kids morning. Then it goes higher belts
Kids,
to get
teens,
them out early.
and then females. No. They did females before, and then they did adult. It's ridiculous. They
Yeah.
should have did. They should just did kids, teens, and then all adults, male, female, fucking
Yeah.
no gender, whatever.
I do got to say though, man, like the location of the tournament was horrible.
Yeah.
They got to like spend a little bit more
There
money.
was no. I know. Do you know how much money they probably generated yesterday?
Do you know how much money they
Oh,
probably
man.
saved by having it in a tiny high school gym?
Tiny high school gym, and they didn't even have warm up mats.
No, they
Yeah,
had nothing.
Did they
didn't
have a
even-
lot of white belts? White belts. Did they have a lot of brown belts and black
We
belts
didn't
competing?
get there for that.
Yeah, we were
But
after.
did they have that?
I want to say
had it, but-
I want to say that the one guy from Breathe, he was a brown belt, and he had like one guy in his division.
Yeah, it's still.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'll let I thought he was walking over there. My bad. Yeah,
Well, now he's gotta walk over there.
I feel like those tournaments though, they're not like that
popular for higher belts.
Yeah,
Like if you're a higher belt, you're gonna go to Pans, you're gonna go to IBJ
Yeah.
stuff. You're gonna,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna
Yeah,
attract
I
too
didn't
many
know
higher
if it
belts.
kind of got to that point for
No.
higher belts yet.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was really disappointed because I was like, "Oh, dope! It's gonna be bleachers. I could chill up top with my new lens." And I walk in, dude, and they only had one side of the bleachers opened. It wasn't even fully extended. That's how small the gymnasium was.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah. It's like how do you even have a basketball game going
Yeah.
on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
how do you
it's-
bang a girl into the bleachers?
You can't.
You can't.
Nah. So I was upset, and then it's just like
I'm
the
disappointed.
bleachers weren't even fully
And-
opened on one side.
How many competitors do they have? Over 300?
Yeah.
Yeah,
too bad.
So you
Yeah,
got to figure
definitely.
what?
But
Over
you know what's
300
crazy?
people paid what? $110?
Yeah.
Something
compete.
Like that, yeah.
It's
But you know
30
what's
grand.
crazy though is that the other gym I think was way bigger, where they had the fucking podium,
It was.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
But there was no bleachers in there. It was like a basketball court or something.
That's-
You know.
But so you got to figure that the gym, to rent out that gym was probably dirt cheap.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
like $2 or $3 grand.
No,
Yeah.
you think so?
For a whole day, yeah.
No, I don't know, dude. The
For
schools
school,
are always cheap.
yeah, so cheap.
Do you think cheaper? You think a couple $100?
I was thinking like $500.
I would say 1,000.
Yeah, maybe 1,000.
All right. And that's the thing though, like they're going cheap so that they can make as much money as possible. It's like, yo, like just provide a good event. Provide something that people are gonna like talk
Want to come
highly
back.
about. Yeah, and want to come back. It's
Well,
like,
now you know it's not competition.
yeah, serious. I mean, it could have been a different spot. It could have been somewhere where they scouted and been like, this is a good location. We could have warm up mats. We could have plenty of spectators sitting comfortably. You know,
The sports arena, that pride went way better. Way
Way
better.
even
better.
Hofstra, dude.
Yeah, Hofstra was legit
Hofstra was
too.
huge.
The ice,
Well,
they
Hofstra's got
definitely.
it's a college. It's got a big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
Giant- they
saying
have
though.
giant,
So
like,
do
wrestling
something like
mats.
that.
They should do it at
you know?
find a
Suffolk,
better-
Brentwood. They should do it at like.
Yeah, they cheaped
Could've
out
went-
100%,
They did.
and they made a fucking absolute killing. And I see everyone walking around with these ugly ass T-shirts, and I'm like, why are these motherfuckers buying these T-shirts?
I know.
It said like I'm a Predator. Like it's not even a fucking. It was like a
Yeah, what a stupid name.
like
Predator.
Predator. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why are these people wearing these dumbass
Where?
shirts? And then Angela.
one?
Yeah. Doesn't it say I'm a Predator?
Oh.
Yeah, Predator.
I didn't even know that.
Rem, so I see,
I
I
didn't
see
even know
that, and I'm like,
that.
why are these people
nice
wearing
shirt.
these corny ass shirts?
competitor.
Yeah, so I'm like, why are these people wearing these corny ass shirts? And then Angela's like, yo, there's a free T-shirt over there. You just have to go up and tell them. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, are you fucking with me? Because if I walk over to this table, I'm gonna come back and fucking
No,
smack you.
competitors always got a free shirt.
Yeah, competitors always get
Yeah.
something free, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
I
always
thought
have
I
a free
was,
shirt.
I thought I was gonna walk up and be like, yeah, I'm a competitor. They were gonna be like, all right, do you have money?
I'm a large.
Dude, it was so funny after the first match. Like, it obviously didn't go anywhere where I wanted it to. Like, I just did horrible, and I knew that. But I wasn't like super down or anything. I just didn't want to do the consolation. And Eddie's like, trying to make me feel better. He's like, bro, you did great. You went out there. He's like, you pulled guard. He's like, you did so good. You pulled guard. He said it like 3 times. And I'm
like you shut up in triangle.
like, yeah, you did so many good things out there. Like, you pulled guard. You shook hands.
sweat.
You shook hands. You walked out there. But it takes more than I thought it did to like get out there. Like,
That's the hardest part.
there's a lot of like so many feelings yesterday. Like fucking after that first match, I'm like, I should just like, why am I even fucking doing this? I'm like, I don't need to compete. I don't need to prove anything. Like what? Like I should have just not done this. Like I'm not gonna do my second match, guarantee. And I'm like, I might just take off before like Nogi and just be done.
Yeah, bro. Because you come up to me and were like, "Yo, are we going home?" I'm like, "Aren't you competing?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know."
I was like, I'll be fine fucking either way. Like I'm fine. And then I'm happy I hung around though because like I got some of the good feelings.
Yeah, you got the best feeling.
Yeah, and everything too, man. Like all those motions, all those feelings, the overwhelming sound, having somebody else come at you. It's like you already now experienced that, and then your Nogi match, you now were able to like be ready for it.
Also, think about how much better that submission felt after what you went through the first time.
That's true.
Right.
That made that even more sweet. Right? Because if you'd have went out there and won that first match by submission, and it's like that, you having that experience in that first match made the second one all the more sweet. Right. And that's the whole. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
failure
awesome. Is the best condiment.
Yeah, highest highs, lowest lows, but it's unmatched.
Yep. And that's what we were saying to you too, man. Like on Monday you were going to come back and like the little mistakes that you made in your first gi match, it's like, okay, you're going to correct them, but like you applied that right to your no gi. You know what I'm saying? You were already adjusted to like the noise. You didn't let people control you. You understood like, okay, like you can't make this grip here, and like
you have to listen to your coaches.
Yeah. You were,
I was trying to listen. I just couldn't. I couldn't hear
the
shit.
biggest mistake you made though was competing in the gi.
Just fuck the gi.
Just don't do that anymore.
I'm just a no gi boy now.
Yeah. So how do you feel like? How did you feel competing in both gi and no gi? Like, did you like the competition? Where
I think that's a little unfair to ask because his first one was a wash.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
let him do another tournament.
No, I love the gi, but like I get like I have like obviously like anxiety and shit that I take medication for. Sometimes when I'm in the gi, I feel like trapped, like I can't fucking breathe.
Yeah.
And I love like it's happened to me at practice before where like I go on like full on panic attack and I'm almost like crying. So like I was feeling like very claustrophobic and like trapped, like I couldn't breathe. And then I was thrown off because I wear spats under my gi like all the time. I didn't mind not wearing a rash guard under the gi, like that's no big deal. But they're like, yo, you're gonna get DQ'd. I'm like, what? So then I had to put on like boxer briefs. I'm like,
you can't wear spats under your
I'm like,
gi?
it doesn't make any sense.
Wait,
I'm like,
you can't wear spats?
That's what Vin said to me.
The guy you competed against wore spats in no gi.
Yeah, you're allowed to wear them in no gi, but like
not in
I don't
gi?
know. It doesn't make any sense. David, it made no sense. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I wear this shit every day. Like it's not any kind of like I get like the idea behind it. Really doesn't make any sense that you can't wear a rash guard under your gi. What's the idea behind it? I don't know. I talk about like fingers getting trapped and stuff, but that happens in the gi anyway. Yeah,
they're getting trapped in the gi pants.
Yeah,
it's like impossible. Spats are fucking tight for a reason.
It makes no sense, dude. Like,
I think Vin
and that's what he said. But then I asked Connor, and Connor kind of confirmed it. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get DQ'd on like some bullshit. Like I'll just put on the underwear.
I'll wear underwear.
I guess I'm gonna wear underwear.
I guess I gotta wear boxer briefs now.
Yeah, but I was like, what? Like I knew.
No, spats under the gi they're a lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
I started wearing them because one of the guys that I train with is just
dirty.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He's one of the best black belts out there, but he's kind of. You look at his knees, you're like, fuck, I gotta wear something.
Oh,
so God. I started wearing like long. I started wearing spats.
He's still gonna get
gi.
that. Oh God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luigi Potts was there yesterday.
Yeah, fuck Potts.
So he's coaching.
So that's why I started wearing like long rash guards, long sleeve rash guards because that's one guy. But it's a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it is. It's 100%.
So Sunder was competing in I think featherweight, no-gi, and I see like Potts is coaching. He's going against a monster kid, and Potts is like before the match even starts. He's like,
"Hey, Potts, get fucked."
Sunder like plays like the leg game, a lot of like single leg X and straight ankle locks because he's a blue belt, so he's not able to like heel hook or anything.
Yeah,
and Potts is like, he's just trying to get in on your legs for like the fucking straight ankle lock, like before it even like starts. So Sunder ends up fucking tapping this kid, and it was like a panic tap. It was like. And the kid looked like he was like limping after, and then after fucking Sunder taps him, he gets up, goes right into Potts' face, and he's like, and then he saw Eddie and Connor, because Danny's had talks with him before, because like it's like kind of like bad sportsmanship to like yell like after you win,
dude. Even if that's Potts, that's still bad sportsmanship.
Yeah. So then Sunder like saw his coaches, and he was like, I'm sorry, but he gets excited, he gets hyped up. But
how did you feel after your first submission?
Awesome. You saw me fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even remember like shaking my head like that, but it obviously happened.
Since Potts was there, did he go up and?
Potts went live when I got steamrolled, and all my boys were like in the group chat. They were like, "Oh my god, is Terence okay? Like, is he alive?"
But was he there for your no-gi match?
No, he left.
He left for that.
So he just live streamed me getting mopped,
fuck
and then
Potts
he didn't
then.
see any of my fucking.
Yeah,
success.
but at least you didn't get knocked out.
That's
Dude,
true.
one of my boys, like, because you know a lot of people were sharing me on their stories and shit, and they were like. Terry's already got more wins than Potts, and he's only gone once so far.
Yeah, that's whack, dude. That dude has some issues. But it was a good day though. It was a fucking great day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out. It was awesome
course,
to fucking
dude.
have you there with me.
Of course, wouldn't have wanted to miss it, dude.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Remy had a good day too. Remy
Did
went out
alright.
there. I mean, I guess it's all right, but
Dude,
Yeah.
that first kid you went against in the gi was like the goofiest motherfucker
Oh my
I've ever
God.
seen. I see this guy warming up. I'm like, what a fucking weirdo. And I'm like, Remy's gonna fucking kill this kid. And then sure enough, Remy fucking pulls like he even like shoots up the triangle, and like that was like a 20-second match.
yeah, that was great.
No, I had a 20-second match. But that one was a little longer. It was like maybe a minute, maybe.
But that kid, like you mop that kid. I knew you were gonna like piss mop him, and it was like even worse than I thought. I'm like, maybe this kid's gonna surprise us. Like, there's some awkward people in jiu-jitsu that like do really well.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I couldn't see that. Like, he was not in the
That's
same
what,
class
as soon as
you.
I saw him across from me, I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this kid up. And then I was like, wait, then I thought that exact thing. I'm like,
People could- yeah, people could surprise
maybe
you.
he might be good.
Some
I'm
people
like,
are unassuming.
Yeah, you got Star Wars fanatics out there.
What you had a match even shorter than that?
yeah, my second no-gi match,
Dude,
20 seconds.
I was on the opposite end of where your mat was across, and I looked over and I see you, and I'm like, all right, Remy's about to go. I was finishing up. Spiro was still going. He had like 6 seconds left. I'm like, all right, let me see him get his hand raised. Literally 5 seconds. I look back over, and your hand's getting raised. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what just happened?
It was literally
It was like a camera pan. Like if the camera was facing here, pan this way, pan back, hand raised.
Yeah.
What happened in that match, the 22nd one?
I was just tight because of the fucking ref before that, or the whatever that guy is, the coordinator, like just being.
Oh
fucking
yeah, I
idiot.
heard about this.
You
I
gonna,
heard
leave, you gonna leave a Yelp review?
What? Maybe.
I heard about this.
Maybe.
You were tight. What he told you could sit down, and he's like, "Why aren't you sitting down?"
No, I went up to him. I was like, "Yo," I gave him my name, and he's like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit." He's like, "You can sit down," like, and he's like, "You can stay over here in the the like quote unquote warm up area."
The bullpen.
Yeah.
They called it like a. What the fuck did they
The
call
ball
it?
pit?
The bullpen holding.
No.
pen or some
Somebody
shit.
else called it something else. Something. It almost sounded like concentration camp.
Oh, I did hear that. I did
The
hear
announcer
something like
said,
that.
"Yeah, please make sure that you're in the
Concentration area or something.
Yeah, and I was like,
remember,
hey,
I remember
yo,
hearing that.
dude.
That was weird.
Yo, bro.
And keep your mask on.
But so whatever. So he's like, stay in here. He's like, you got a few until you're up. So I'm sitting there. And then he comes up to me like maybe 10 minutes later, and he's like, do you plan on competing today? He's like, are you just gonna sit over here?
Are you kidding me?
I look at him. I'm like, are you fucking for real? I'm like, bro, you told me to sit over here. And he's like, I might have told you that. I'm
what
like,
an asshole.
I was like, so what the fuck? I'm like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to sit over here? Do you want me to go over there? And he's like, you're on deck, so go over there. So I go over there. I'm standing. I'm like shaking, warming up. And he's like, you have to sit down. I'm like, sit down? I'm like, dude, if I sit down right now, I'm like, my legs are gonna cramp. I'm like, I'm not sitting down. He's like, all right, well then go back over there. I'm like, make up your fucking mind. Like, where am I going? Like,
What an asshole.
Like, how are you on deck and you're not allowed to warm up? Like, that makes no
Doesn't
sense.
make
I feel
any
like this
fucking
stuff only happens to you.
I know it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It really does.
It just had doesn't matter where it is, the coffee place, the bank, the jiu-jitsu tournament, it only happens to you.
It really does, dude. Like the universe tests Remy when he's out in public.
Bro, that shit really pissed me off. I had to go to the bathroom. And I had to calm myself down. And then I went,
Even the mountain, right? We pulled up to go snowboarding the same day. We had no, we didn't plan on it or anything. We just happened to be
I
there
look
the same
over
day.
and this fucking idiot
That
shit.
that day, it's a sheet of ice. I've been there 4 times. 3 of those times, perfect. They made snow the night before. It was great. The one day that Remy pulls up, it's a sheet of fucking ice.
Yeah. The whole fucking mountain.
The whole thing from top to bottom, a sheet
You
of fucking ice.
expect me to snowboard on this? How do you expect me to snowboard
How
on
do you
this?
not make snow?
I mean, you guys are a fucking snow mountain. How do you not mix snow?
Dude, three other times I've been there, and I've been there after that day. Great conditions.
Do you guys remember that
funny.
Saturday Night Live skit back in like the early 90s? It was Al Franken, and it was like Stuart Smalley, and he'd like sit down, he had like a sweater and a bow tie on, and he'd look in the mirror, he'd be like, I'm a good person, and people like me.
Yeah. That's like what I have to do every day.
Exactly.
That's like exactly what I have to do.
I'm a good person, and people like me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel bad for that kid because he just got the bad end of the stick.
Of the B Remy stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's something you work on, dude. Because sometimes you're better off just being nicer than letting your fucking anger go.
Yeah. But I channel it. I use it.
Yeah,
I found it. Daily affirmations with Stuart Smalley.
Yeah, you definitely channel it, dude.
Can I play this clip real quick so people can hear it?
Yeah, sure.
This is 100% Remy.
Oh, we got an ad.
You got an ad.
Stupid Liberty Mutual ad.
Dude, come on, dude.
See,
You're
it only
ruining the
happened
mood.
because fucking we're showing it about Remy.
Yeah.
I hear it good.
I deserve good things. I deserve happiness. I refuse to beat myself up. I am an attractive person. I am fun to be with. Daily affirmation with Stuart Smalley.
Yo, if I heard Remy start saying
We get
that,
the point.
It sounds a little like Remy too.
dude, if I heard him saying that shit to himself, I would fucking die.
I would fucking die.
Bro, that'd be so funny. You get in his car, he's like, yeah, come on, I'll drive. And then that's the shit that's playing. Like when you fucking go to like 7-Eleven or
Gosh
some
darn
shit.
it, I'm good enough.
That is
I deserve
hilarious.
to be happy.
Yeah, no, but Rem did good too. He did.
Yeah,
He did a
yo,
good
speaking
job
of shit that
yesterday.
happens to me, and then fucking I go to get my medal, bro, and they're trying to tell me I didn't take second place.
Oh yeah,
What?
that's right.
They're
Yep.
like, we don't see your name here, like in the gi. They're like,
Well, because there was no name. That's like a problem. If like you're about to hand out medals for a bracket and
there
you
was
have
no
first,
name.
second, and third, and you have a name for first and third, and there's no name for second, before even anybody's getting medals, you should be like, hold up a second.
Yeah.
Let's go figure this out before the guys come here.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. I know, like with I experienced it with Remy. Like when we went, he's like, whenever I win, fucking no one's around to like take a picture, like on the podium.
Yeah.
And that happened yesterday. Like I got second. I didn't win, but like it would have been cool to be on the podium with like fucking
The rest of the bracket.
2 other dudes. Yeah.
of course.
But
I mean, listen, when I was competing, dude, I grabbed my medal and I fucking bounced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to. I'm not standing around with these bozos and taking
No, just
a
for a
picture.
second. I don't know, just for like the memories. But we ended up getting a really cool picture with like
Yeah.
because I think we all got medals yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody from Breathe took
place.
something home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was great, man. It
That's
was a
dope.
great day. Everybody looked good. You know, some guys that we were expecting to compete waited too long to register. So
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I know.
listen.
It's just
I was worried about like spectator because I knew my boy Max was coming. I knew Nick was coming, but Nick was covered by Angelo. Like I was waiting to, because I didn't know D-Rock was coming until Friday night.
Yeah, it was like last minute. He made. That
And then he was saying Caleb may come, so I was waiting on like I just wanted to get everything in order before, so I wasn't like I don't know if
Good
they're
thing
gonna
he didn't come.
he wouldn't have.
No,
He would've hated
He
it.
would have
Yeah.
hated it, dude. It's a long day. It was hot.
It is a long day.
Yeah.
It would have turned him off for Jits forever.
So I was just like trying to get like all my ducks in a row, and then Macus hits me up and tells me that the website's not working to buy tickets. So then I click the link, and like sure enough, it's like so I'm like fuck. Now I gotta, because I messaged Kat asking her about I think weigh-ins, and then I asked her about tickets and stuff like if they, and then she said they had to be bought online. So I'm like fuck, like I waited too long. Now these people aren't going to be able to come in. And Max was coming from like Long Beach, and he was like all excited to be there. So I messaged her. She finally got back to me, and she said you're allowed to Venmo at the door. I was like, thank God. It's like, why would you not? I guess they don't
why
want
would
them
you
handling.
not have tickets at the door?
I guess they don't want them handling money. Like if you're back there and like you're like someone pays you cash, you just stuff it in your pocket because it's
Yeah,
just
that's
like they're
true.
not like tracking that.
Yeah, that's true. And then I guess too, like it's nice to know, like
How many people?
right.
Stuff,
You
yeah.
can start figuring out like your profit.
Yeah.
like,
But
But
before
still,
the
I feel like a
tournament
lot of like you're gonna miss out on a lot of people who do last minute shit. You
yeah,
know?
I mean, it sounded like they were able to do it at the door, but I think they were, like I said, they were trying to push to pay before.
But I'm saying if that's your idea to do like no day of
Yeah.
excuse me, I don't know. I just think that's a bad idea because like a lot of people are just like, oh, that's today. Oh yeah, sure. Like let's go. You know.
I think also too, like what I saw yesterday, like another thing that like really struck a nerve for me was they need to get their officials paying attention to every match. It doesn't matter if it's the end of the night, if it's white or black belt.
Yo, some of them are just looking around.
Yeah, and the
like while the match is going on.
Yeah.
And the refs really need to
arms.
The refs really need to understand like the rules and the positions because Remy got caught in the heel hook, which was illegal at the tournament,
and she's asking other people.
I call it right. I yelled because I was right there. I see the kid. I'm like, that's a heel hook. You can't heel hook. And then she goes like, she puts her hands up.
Yeah, stop.
And then I wasn't sure if it was like a warning or an immediate like.
Yeah, she
DQ.
had no idea.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like these officials need to know if like you're gonna hire somebody for a match, they need
You're supposed to have like a rules meeting for the like an officials.
Yes.
Yeah, you would think.
But these people that they're hiring obviously aren't jits people, so that they don't understand. Like, so
No,
she
he
left.
said-
I thought they came from
IBJJF.
Yeah, that they were the IBJJF refs.
Dude, then she was brand new because she literally the heel hook got slapped on. She stopped it and she had to like waste time now and walk
to
over
go
to it.
another
Thanks,
official.
Rem. Thanks.
Yo, Rem, the kid wasn't even able to hip in, right? He just got the bite. I just saw him get the bite for the heel hook.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even see him bite it.
I started yelling.
He got the heel.
No.
No, he was like, I don't know.
No, because
he just reached back for it.
Exactly. Conor already said like he had it hooked, and I'm like, I didn't see the heel gone. I looked, and I was like, yo, is he gonna reap this thing?
Yeah.
And then they said heel hook, and I was like, oh, I didn't even see the bite, but I think the position of the leg was enough for a DQ because that's a reap, right?
That's if he goes for it, it's an automatic DQ, right? Or it's supposed to be.
And she was like, oh, she was like,
she stopped the match. So imagine she comes back and she's like, all right, and now go again. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What's it now? You put me back in that
and then
position.
his coaches were like, it's up to the competitor. They're like, ask him if he wants to compete. And I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking. It's not up to me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
There's rules for a reason.
I think that would have been a good match though. Like that kid
it
looked
would
like
have been a great match.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that
I'm
kid,
actually I'm kind of annoyed that it happened.
That
Like
kid was losing anyway, dude.
I mean,
it was tied. It was tied at that point. No.
No, he was.
Oh, he was losing already.
I was up on an advantage and
a sweep.
I think a sweep.
Sweep.
Yeah, because I thought that like I saw you guys like start and I'm like, oh wow, this is gonna be it was gonna be a really good fucking match. So it sucked that it ended that way.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We were talking after.
I saw you say.
And he was what?
Did you tell him that you got DQ'd for that at Worlds or something?
Yeah. I was telling him that. I was like, dude, it happens. Like I did the same shit. I was like at Worlds. I was like, went all the way to fucking Texas, and
he took it like well though. He was kind of just like like.
Well, I don't think he knew because he was like. He was saying to me, he was like, dude, he's like, I didn't know you can't heel hook. He's like, we fucking do this at the gym. He's like, I didn't know that.
How do you not? Was his first time competing?
That's on his coach. That was on his coaches.
Yeah, it's on his coaches.
Listen, if you're a coach and you have a gym and you got guys that are competing in a tournament, it's super important that you let them know what the rule set is and you train that way.
Yeah, well, we went over that in comp class, and Connor's like, he looked over all the rules. He looked at like pictures and everything. He's like, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And then he pushed.
But even during the week, Danny teaches heel hooks or something like that. He's like, guys, you know, we're rolling here. You can use this, but in a competition, you can't.
Yeah,
you know,
right, exactly.
Like he always says that.
Yep. Yeah,
but
I mean, and then it was funny too. Like the coaches were yelling that shit, and it's just like, dude, like that's not how it works. It's not up to the competitors.
It's a fucking rule.
It's a rule. The rules are there for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We talking about the kid who got DQ'd
for heel hooking.
Yeah. Dude, I believe you mentioned it last night. And Nick, you talked about it, I think, on last week's podcast about the predator prey mindset.
Yeah.
And you said he came in like said like he looked you up. I sincerely believe that kid got DQ'd himself on purpose.
You know.
Yeah, you were saying that last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not totally out of the, you know, like you said, like it all makes sense of what he came up to me and he was like, oh, you know, I looked you up. He's like, you're really good. And he's like, I was like, oh shit, I have to go against him.
Yeah. He's like,
now when you said that, it kind of.
It does.
It's an excuse so he doesn't have to lose.
Right.
And just like we were saying about Masvidal last night.
And he was losing, so that's even, you know.
Yeah, and it's not far-fetched for people to feel and act that way.
Yeah,
you know?
People like to build in excuses for themselves. You know, like people are like, oh, well, I didn't train. It's like, yeah, because you purposely didn't train as hard so that if you lose, you have to accept the fact that somebody was just better than you and beat you.
Yeah.
So you make an excuse, you know, and like we were saying this about Masvidal and Covington last night, like the way Masvidal was managing the grappling situations, it was literally just like to stall out and get stood up. and not open up and take chances to try to get up and maybe get caught or get knocked out, so that he didn't have to lose definitively, so that if he lost like that, he could be like, yeah, well, he just held me down and wrestled. I'd fuck him up if we threw hands.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. He did tag him though.
He did.
He tagged him and he like stung Kobe. He dropped Kobe for a second, but he didn't. He took his time. He took his time coming back in. I don't know if he was worried about getting taken down. Yeah,
he was
gassed.
Been there, brothers.
Yeah.
He looks over
card.
he's like gassed.
I was like, I'm fucking gassed.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I was able. That would have been so dope. I use the Kimura well to like get out of side control.
Yeah, dude, you should have fucking had that.
I know. I was like, it's weird. I had to like hip out.
That Kimura attack is nasty.
Yeah, bro, you rip that shit out like.
It helps you in so many situations.
He's on top trying to hide his shit, and I'm like, no.
Well, what was dope was that he was starting to pass Terrence's guard, and Terrence
he couldn't do anything.
He framed the arm, and then he dove for the Kimura, which made the guy stop. Right. So he couldn't really progress, and since you're a fucking beast, you ripped his arm out of underneath him, threw it over his head, and the guy's arm was straight, so he still had some strength, so he put it back in. You're like, nah.
I back out.
You ripped it right back out, dude. You had that shit bent over his back, and then you fucking cranked it, and he's just like, fuck.
You like swept him.
As he tumbles all over.
Did he say, mama?
Bro, I flipped him a couple times. Like he was in side control, like he was like, trying to pass me quick, and I just like boom, and then I was right back on top, and then he was trying to take my back from the feet, and I just took his hook out and like dropped him on the ground and looked at him. We were like close out of bounds. I was just like, get the fuck off.
Yeah, so if anybody from Breed listens to the podcast, which I hope you do,
fucking better be.
Now you know if you try to pass Terrence's guard, dude, he's slapping that Kimura on. That's going to be part of your game since it worked in competition, dude. Yep. That is going to be something that you're going to see yourself hitting in class.
That just came to me like one day. I was actually rolling it against Jared.
What? You see that?
No.
Dude, this fucking Jeep drove by with a dog like half out of the passenger side, like tongue flapping and shit. I'm sorry. Was
it Macus with a Jeep?
No. That was just so bizarre.
Scout.
One thing that I thought was cool, Terrence, is, and Nick, you mentioned this last night on the way home, that you were curious about how I was going to react to seeing Terrence roll and compete.
Yeah.
Because I haven't trained with you in a long time, and from like the first couple times that we trained together, you were
had 5 left feet.
Yeah, you were brand new. I got to say that I was super impressed with the way you scrambled, and you scrambled intelligently. You know what I mean? Like you didn't just look like you were flopping around, not knowing what to do to get out of things. You
had a game plan.
Yeah, but like
he knew what he wanted to do next, like go to next.
Yeah, but even the way that you scrambled, like a couple times I saw you like hip heisting and stopping the guard pass, and like there was a couple times where I saw you in like a weird scramble where you saw like a submission you wanted to pursue in the middle of it. That was impressive, man. Like the work that you've put in over the last year, like definitely shows.
I tried throwing that Darce in for you. Fucking beards are Darce killers, bro. The guy had that big burly beard, and it was in, and I almost had it, and then he trapped my feet. But
were you thinking of me when you did it?
Yeah. I didn't even realize this until like a week ago that you can finish a Darce like from the bottom. I thought you had to be on top with like your pressure. Like
no, think about the Darce that Connor showed.
Yeah, but then that's true. Like the spinorama one.
Yeah, from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. As long as you got that squeeze and you got his arm,
your thing was the leg. You were across the mat. I was trying to yell like
I was under him.
Get that leg out, but
yeah, it was great. It was a fucking great day, dude.
Yo, in IBJJF, you can't use an Aoki lock, right?
No, not.
Right?
So you can't not
that's
until you're like a brown belt or something. It's a twisting knee lock. It's like the same thing as
bro. In my in the finals, in my gi match, the kid hit me with an Aoki lock, and I was like,
you can't even do that in the gi. No,
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying though. Like
and then that was the match. That's
no. They stopped it.
Didn't this kid allegedly tap in your first gi match though too?
Yes.
Didn't you say
you have it on camera?
Yeah, I have it on camera.
we got to look at that. I want to see it.
Yeah, I reviewed it last night. It was definitely
in the gi finals match.
Yeah.
This is when you went belly down, right?
Yep, straight leg lock, ankle lock,
ankle lock, yeah.
He like rolled belly down. The kid smacked his ass and then went like this, like, oh no, I didn't tap.
Oh really?
Did you feel that, Rem?
Yeah.
Did you let go? Did you like feel it, thinking it was over?
I felt his ankle fucking pop, and I let go.
Yeah, that's probably why he tapped and then went like this. Like I gotta pull it on my laptop after we're done. But like he smacked and then went like this because I think it was like the pressure,
Like
the
a-
pop,
then
the
a
relief.
yeah.
And he was just like, oh, I'm good.
Well, to tap, like, obviously Remy could let up in that spot, but
Yeah.
Danny says wait. He said when you tap, it's got to be clearly verbal,
14.
or it's got to be
14 taps.
multiple taps.
14. 14 is
If your head isn't convulsing on the bottom like Terence was, it's not a tap.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta fuck his face. Or,
You don't stop until you're fucking head banging on the bottom, dude.
Yeah.
Like fuck
But I think
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, the refs have to fucking know what they're doing because
Yeah,
like
that's super important.
they didn't even stop the match. The ref is looking at me and I'm like, dude, I'm like pointing at my foot that's like all twisted up, and he looks at me and he's like, I'm like, it's a twisting like fucking ankle
Dude,
lock.
these
Like, what are
refs
you
probably
doing?
get paid $100 for the day. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
And then his coach is yelling, "That's illegal! That's illegal!" He's
Yeah,
like,
he said ankle pop or something, or ankle something.
"Yeah,
But you know what it is too, man? Like, yeah, you're right, D-Rock. They only get paid $100, but like, the sport is always growing and evolving. There's new moves, there's new entries, there's different looks, and these guys just coming for $100 for the day, man. Like, they're not doing their homework.
right,
And the MC, all our referees are black belts.
yeah, right."
That don't
Not
mean
in paying attention.
yeah, not paying attention, black belts.
Yeah, bro. And that guy says he owns a school.
Yeah. I think somebody said that he was like a prodigy of like Peak or something, and then he went off and opened his own gym. That's what I think.
Who, the MC? The guy that...
No, the coach that was yelling.
Oh no! I'm talking about the MC.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
He said something, and he was like, "Even at my school."
Oh really?
Oh, yeah?
That's so.
He's like blue belts are the lifeblood of jiu-jitsu. Blue belts my favorite group,
Yeah.
and then the white belts are white belts.
belts are
I
my
love
favorite.
they're my favorite guys.
Brown belts are my favorite
Yeah.
guys.
So
Mothers
stupid.
of black belts are my favorite women.
Dude, that was cool that fucking Gregor was there and Nick called him out.
Oh, dude, that was great. Yeah, that was great.
So Gregor's like, popping around all loaded up on like caffeine. He's like got like his fucking Snapchat out, putting his
Yeah.
phone in everyone's faces, like going nuts. He's so excited. And he's like, Nick's like, yo, you know who that is next to you? I'm like, nah, I have no idea. He's like, that's Gregor. I'm like, what? So I see him, I'm looking at him, and this dude's just like fucking loaded up on caffeine. And Nick goes, I'm going to say something to him about the podcast. And I was like, yeah? I'm like, you know him? He's like, not really. So he goes up to him, and he's like, yo, I thought you were supposed to call in on the podcast. And he's like, dude, it's gonna happen. He's like, you guys aren't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. He's like, the only problem is you guys do it on Sundays, and Sunday I work out the entire day.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy is a maniac. Like, he doesn't have like a free hour on a Sunday to fucking make a phone call.
He probably doesn't.
No, I know, I believe it. Like,
he probably does, dude. He probably does.
Dude,
I
the
mean,
guy
come
wouldn't
on.
even eat an M&M for what was like
$1,000.
But then
Yeah,
I heard he has froyo every day.
How funny is that? D-Rock said he never sees him without either a cup of coffee in his hand or frozen yogurt.
He gets
eats-
frozen yogurt like every day. It's hilarious.
Frozen yogurt is good.
Gregor
It's
is one
so
of the
good.
most interesting people I've ever met. He's funny as shit. And that dude, so Nick does that. I wasn't there for it. So Gregor comes up to me later and he's like, your fucking cohort just bullied the shit out of me. He's like fucking bullying me about coming on the podcast. He's like, I told you, like, I'm gonna do it. I'm
Why
like,
are you sending your goons after?
yeah. He's like, why am I getting bullied? I'm like, because you were supposed to come on and you didn't. And then he's like, yeah. You're supposed to give me one of those shirts. I'm like, Gregor, I gave you a shirt like fucking 3 months ago. He's like, fuck, you did.
Dude, he's so funny. And it was cool to see him, obviously because he's like big time. And he was like really excited to be there and be like cheering for like the jiu-jitsu modern guys.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I like their aesthetic. They had like some clean like rash guards and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
Like,
logo's cool
Carlos
too.
has a good school over there.
Yeah, their logo is cool too. The way they do it's like 3 rows of letters.
Yeah, I thought it was like really cool looking.
Yeah, it is a nice.
It's modern.
Look.
And they're in
It is modern.
They're in North Bab.
They're in Babylon. I don't know if it's North Babylon or not, but yeah. Because it used to be
Yeah,
Gracie
Babylon.
Baja Babylon or something like that.
Oh, okay. Because I hadn't heard of them until I saw there was a kid from there like in my bracket.
Yeah. He's got a
he
good school there.
opened
Miguel and his son train there.
Oh, that's right. I saw Miguel
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, Miguel from the
cigar shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
over there.
Oh, you saw him yesterday?
Yeah. I actually was just looking around and I saw him standing on a chair and I was like, oh shit, that's Miguel.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Dude, so yesterday I'm like, we're all close on weight. Dylan wakes up. Dylan has a hot fucking open faced pastrami sandwich. He has Cinnabon cheesecake. He's like, I'm good. I'm like 202. So Angela's like, yo, how are you on weight? I'm like, I'm pretty close. I woke up. I'm like, I'm trying to get a little sweat going. I was like around like a half pound to a pound over in the gi. And we're like, let's go back and weigh. And Dylan's like, yeah, I'll come with you guys. Dylan jumps on the scale and he's like 10 pounds over. And I'm like, yo, he's like, and Dylan, he's like, he doesn't really show like any kind of like emotion or anything. He's always just chilling, like very like even keeled dude, like doesn't get fired up or down or anything. So he's like, he just shrugs. He's like, all right, guess I gotta sweat a little bit. So we go to we go to class, and then after we go to relax and revive, but they were like closed for like an hour or whatever, so it was going to be too close. We had to get to the sauna, so we went to a Unique in Holbrook. We walk in. I didn't know Remy was a member, but I'm a member there. Dylan's not, but he was in a personal training course, so he knew like everyone that worked there, so he just got to come in for free.
Oh, dope.
So we're sitting in the sauna for a fucking half hour, bro, and like I hadn't eaten anything and I didn't drink any water because I was just trying to sweat. And dude, half hour is a long time in the sauna. Like usually I'm like
when you're feeling like that.
Yeah, especially if you haven't eaten or drinking anything.
Yeah, I'm like a 5 minute in the sauna guy. So I'm like, I set it 5 minutes. I set a timer on my phone, and I'm like, these two are talking. I'm just sitting there like, yo, this is fucking brutal. I'm like, I ran yesterday on the treadmill, and that was easier than sitting here right now.
Was that the morning of?
This was this was yesterday. So we end up. So I don't eat anything. We end up actually I owe you some money for redefined meals. I got to Venmo you. But did you find your wallet?
I did.
Nice. I was like, Remy's like, yo, I get a discount. Like, just let me know what meals you want, and I'll pay for them. And then I'm like, Remy, you told me you didn't have your wallet. And he's like, yeah, I got cash. I was like, all right, cool.
Bro, and I brought like a $1 more than I needed.
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah, it came out to like 37 and change, and he had like 38 bucks.
Oh shit.
But so then we're sitting in the sauna. I go home, I weigh myself. Now I'm like 2 pounds under, so I'm like, all right, cool. We weren't allowed to weigh in until 2 hours before. We got there at like 4 o'clock to watch Remy, and we weren't allowed to weigh in, whatever. So I have no idea what my weight is. And then I weigh in the
Wait,
gi.
you couldn't even check your weight?
No. I didn't know.
No, you weren't allowed to.
I mean, they might have checked. I might have been able to check my weight. I didn't even think to ask that.
Okay.
But honestly, I wouldn't even know what to do, because if I was under, I wouldn't want to like start drinking water and eat something, and then now all of a sudden I'm fucking missing weight.
Yeah.
So, but I end up weighing myself. I'm 5 pounds under. I'm like, dude, I starved and like dehydrated myself the entire day for my first competition.
Dude, that was me for all my comps, dude. I was so OCD about losing weight and making weight. I'm like, dude, if I have all these people come out to watch me fight,
that's how I felt.
And I can't even make weight, dude. I'm like, what a letdown. So
real.
I would like do the same shit you would do. I wouldn't eat all day. I would
spit with the gum. I was spitting with the gum.
Yeah,
like
I would spit with the gum, and then I'd go weigh in. And I was fighting at 168. It was like a catch weight, dude. I would come in at like 163. 165, like way under, bro, every time.
I would go and put like a bag of Reese's or like a bag of some kind of snack and like a Gatorade and a couple of waters in my gi, step on the scale and be like, all right, I'm still under. I could eat
put this in. Yeah.
Is that how it works, though?
Yeah, well, if you think about it.
So it worked every time for me.
I like how Reese's and Gatorade were like, just sugar.
Right. That's
so in the short term, that is true. Like, you know, within that hour
or that day, the day. Like if you did it in the morning.
I don't know. I don't think the day. I would say within like a couple hours. Okay. You know, because like you got to think, once your body starts to digest that, then it's like breaks down like chemically, like, you know, and it affects your body in different ways. Like, you know, if something's really salty, it might hold on a lot of water, right? And that's why, like, the longer you wait, I feel like it could
turn into weight.
It could turn
to multiple pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Or ounces, however you want to say.
Yeah. So you can hold on to water, or in the opposite case where like you can eat something and it can make you lose weight. You know. So I would say in the short term, like if you're like doing that before a competition, like, yeah, you weigh in, you know, hold the water, hold like a sandwich or something. Like we used to do that for wrestling.
Okay.
You know, like we'd weigh in with our TJ's Hero and fucking and our like,
oh my god, fucking water. Hero, dude.
And we're like, word, I could eat this fucking thing. And,
that's hilarious.
But it's like I said, you know, if you're weighing in the next day, it's like you don't know how that's gonna affect your body. Yeah. You know.
I did just want to quickly shout out all the guys from Breathe, all the competitors, Angelo, Of course, Terence and Remy. You guys are my boys.
Dan, Sunder,
Dylan, Angelo, and Dylan, man. Like, I've gotten to know Dylan like the last couple months.
What about Angelo?
Shout out Angelo.
How funny is that? He said Angelo.
But yeah, Dylan, dude. Dylan is like he's a fucking tough kid, man. Like Terrence said, like he's just like a even keen type of dude, and he like reminds me of like how like D-Rock and I used to be when we were younger, like with training. Like Dylan's that type of kid, man, where like if somebody came in the gym and you needed like one of the fucking Bash brothers to go down on him, like, yo, listen, dude, like,
go down on him?
Yeah.
Well, dude, it took you a little while to hear that, guy. He's getting soft, bro.
No, I got hard.
Oh, God. Yeah, to go and like, just rough somebody up or let them know where they're at. Dylan is always game for that, dude. The kid is... He's like an old soul when it comes to combat.
And
sports.
he's only 20 years old.
I know.
He's so composed. Like,
yeah, he's composed, but he has that mentality, that grit, man. He has that
that wrestler in him.
Yeah, and I appreciate that a lot. So, big shout out to all the Breathe guys, man. Super proud of everybody that went out and competed.
All the Freedom guys too.
Yeah, Freedom. Yep.
Freedom had a good.
Yeah, I saw Spiro's gi match, his first gi match from like the bleachers. I saw you guys like ran over for that, but I didn't see. Did he do no? He did no gi as well.
Yeah, I think he went 2-2 in both.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's good. Was that his first comp?
No.
Okay.
He's a big boy. He's like a solid kid.
He's like 6'3", 6'4".
He
200-something pounds.
He listens very well too. He's very coachable, which is nice.
Yeah, it's always
He don't
always makes
listen
the
to
coach.
fucking sandwich orders though.
Wait, what did you say?
He don't listen to sandwich orders.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's a casino story. Luigi wouldn't talk to him for like 2 months.
Yeah,
because Spiro messed up his sandwich order.
That's great.
Remember when he came in here because he needed a key to get into the thing?
Yeah, that shit was so funny.
He needed a key. His name's Mike, right?
Yeah.
So he comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm here to pick up a key. I'm like, oh, this guy's got it. He's like, yo, I'm here to pick up the key. He's like, what's your name? And he's like, my name's Mike. And he's like, oh, no can do, bro. They said this was for Spiro.
And he was so confused. He's like, oh, but I am Spiro. I'm like, nah, you said your name was Mike, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he went to you for it?
Well,
Yeah.
he came in here like I think Sam left or D-Rock
Marcus or
left.
somebody.
Yeah, someone left the key.
No, but he was getting the key from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm here for a key. Turns like, oh yeah, it's this guy right here. So he's like, hey dude, what's up? Well, I'm here for a key. I'm like, oh, what's your name? He's like, Mike. I'm like, dude, I was like, I'm supposed to give a key to Spiro. And he's like, oh, that's me. I'm Spiro. I'm like, you said your name was Mike. And since he doesn't know me, he doesn't know my sense of humor or my sarcasm. So he like looked at me. I'm like, oh, Terrence is like, yo, he's fucking with you, bro. He's like, oh, all right. He started laughing and shit.
He's a good kid.
How are you guys liking his rash guards? I see a lot of you guys. I see a lot of you guys wearing them.
I like them. I like the newest one, the white and the red one.
White and red, cool. Yeah, it's pretty clean, man. Looks like Supreme.
Doesn't he have the like the gray kind of the new gray one that he has, or he only did the white and red one?
No, yeah, it's a gray one with like a design. I don't know what the design is.
Yeah, it looks like a cartoon or some kind of cartoon.
Looks like armor or something.
Yeah,
it looks like like ancient armor. Or something.
I saw that one. I saw the white and red, and then I saw the.
I like his Let's Go Brandon one.
The Let's Go Brandon one with the ice cream cone.
Was that with Byron on it?
Yeah.
Joe Byron.
I wanted to go back to what you were saying about Dylan. Have you guys like unleashed him on anybody yet? Has that happened?
Yeah.
Because you remember back in the day, dude, we used to always have, if somebody dropped in, there was like a handful of people that would be like, yo, go get this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, if like one of our higher ups or maybe a coach didn't say it, it would be Nick. Nick would like pull me aside and be like, yo, we gotta fuck this kid up today. So I'm assuming it's you.
Yeah, I mean the last time I think it was a little collab between a couple, but yeah, he's exactly like that, man. Like he has no problem.
He's a Mat Enforcer.
He is a Mat Enforcer.
Dude, he doesn't.
We should make that a shirt, Mat Enforcer.
Yeah, dude.
He doesn't. He's an all-county wrestler. He took third in the counties, I think, like his senior year. Badass wrestler, but he doesn't really wrestle.
Where do you
at
wrestle?
Jits.
PADMED. Oh, okay.
But he doesn't really wrestle at Jits. He's like, I'm here to do jiu-jitsu. So like, I was surprised that he wouldn't do like he didn't do no-gi yesterday, but like he doesn't really use much of his wrestling.
No, I respect that though.
Yeah. I think it's cool. In competition, like
shows you his mindset.
Yeah,
right? He's
that's
like,
what when I first started. That's what I think it was. I don't know if it was my brother or Eddie, or it was probably both of them. But they told me like when you go to jiu-jitsu, like do jiu-jitsu, like don't use your wrestling because you know that you're always going to be able to wrestle. You know.
So that's why, like, for the longest time, like, I like to play guard. I pull guard, you know, and even. Oh, it was that kid yesterday I was talking to after my match. The kid who heel hooked me, and he was like asking me how long I trained, and I was like, yeah, and I wrestled and stuff. He's like, you wrestled? He's like, and you pull guard? I was like, yeah.
What kid was this? The blonde hair kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like just a quick feel for Dylan. So one night we were here, and it was just a couple of us, right? So Lisa had to go to the bathroom, so she goes in the back, and the door's locked, and she comes back over, and she's like, the fucking bathroom's locked. And I'm like, okay, you know. I'm like, all right. So the bathroom's locked. She's like, yeah, but it's only us in here. She's like, somebody came outside and used the bathroom. She's like, I have to pee. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me go back there. So I go back there, I knock on the door, I turn around, and there's Dylan. He's like, we gonna wait? I'm like, you want to wait, dude? He's like, yeah, let's make this motherfucker feel uncomfortable. So Dylan and I posted up in the back. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. He's sitting on a spackle bucket. He's like talking as loud as possible, so whoever is in the bathroom knows
someone's outside
waiting for you. And he's loud and laughing and like continue the conversation. I knew exactly what he was doing, dude. And the person opens the door, and they're like, "Oh, you could use it." Dylan's like, "Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you." And like just looks at him, gives him like a stern.
It was someone who just walked in from the outside.
Yeah, it was not a customer.
We were sitting here last night. Me, you, Terence, Remy, Eddie. We're all talking. It's like 20 minutes. We're all giggling. And I just turned to Dylan. Dylan was like sitting right next to me. I turned to Dylan. I'm like, yo, Dylan, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, God, you talk so much.
He's fucking quiet.
Yeah. He didn't say a word all night.
He just giggled at me. He was like,
he's definitely like a murderer with a smile, dude.
Yeah, but he's got like
this guy. He sounds.
Yeah, he's awesome. You like him.
Oh,
Eric Ott's first encounter with him. So Eric comes in, Dylan's already chilling, we're all talking. Dylan's a quiet kid. He's also only 20 years old.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't look like he's 20 though.
Right. So he leaves, and I look at Eric. I'm like, yo, he's a cool dude, right? He's like, I'm like, what? You got a bad feeling from him? He's like, yeah, you know. He's like, I don't know how to put my finger on. He's like, but he just seems like I don't know, like. So I'm like, dude, he's only 20 years old. He's like, that guy's only fucking 20. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I thought he was like 35. So since Dylan was quiet, he wasn't like really interacting in the conversation. Yeah. I like took like, okay, like
standoffish.
You're standoffish. You're a dick. But he's like, now that I understand that he's younger than all of us, he's like, it makes sense. He's just a younger kid, you know?
Yeah.
But it was so funny. He's like, he's only fucking 20. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
But he looks like he's 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he looks like he's 47.
Yeah.
Dylan, we love you, bro. We love you, kid.
He doesn't look like old, but he just looks like he's older than he is.
Yeah, he looks like a grown man.
He doesn't look like weather. He just looks like a grown man. Yeah, like he could easily pass.
And
for
especially
like
because he's a carpenter, he's in the carpenter industry. So when he comes in like with his work gear on, dude, he looks like
he looks like he's
he looks like he's like 10 years older.
Fuck Dylan, bro. He still hasn't even accepted my goddamn.
he probably didn't get it because you've been fucking shadow banned.
He's not on Instagram a lot.
Let me see what this kid.
Dylan, if you're listening, fuck
I'll show you.
He can't.
So,
oh yeah,
I think he's only got. I think he's only got.
Look on Terence's phone.
These,
I'm friends with him.
I want to talk about how underwhelming the UFC was last night. I was like, one of the first cards in a while that I was like, yo, this is dope. It's a lot of good matchups, and I was a little bit disappointed.
You know why you're disappointed? Because Terence was on. And that hyped it up so much, and it was like there's no competing with that.
Oh, damn,
you can't go from like Terence. You can't go from like watching Terence compete to watching like these amateurs in the UFC.
Damn.
I mean, you got a point. You got a point.
No, but
even though he didn't invite me to his wedding,
I agree. I agree with you, D-Rock. I feel like last night's card was the first card in a while where we had a stack card of some degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, even the Dos Anjos Fiziev fight, even though Fiziev fell out, Moicano, like I'm like, all right, that's still a good matchup. And also, 5-round co-main event, non-title.
Dude, I know. What the fuck was that? What was that all about?
I don't know.
That was the first time ever?
I think so. I don't remember any other time happening. Like,
I
the
agree
fuck's
with
going
D-Rock,
on?
yeah.
And I almost feel like they told them that shit in the back because it was like 11:30 and it was the co-main event.
Yeah,
and
you're
they're
gonna
like,
go
this
5 rounds.
Yeah, like this has got to go another hour and a half. We can't do this. So you're going 2 more.
That's actually funny that you said that because at that point in time, literally, D-Rock was like, yo, the UFC is flying right now, bro. It's 11:30. We're on the co-main event. What are we going to be done by fucking 12:30? Because these fights sometimes go to like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's what happened last time. I forget what fight it was, but it was the same thing. It was like 11:30 or 11 o'clock, and it was the co-main event. And I was like, "Yo, I'm like, damn, we're actually gonna get out of here like somewhat on time."
And then they had an hour of commercials.
And then it was and then because I remember
So
specifically
brutal.
saying that to Eddie right here. I'm like, "Yo, it's kind of early. We're about to get get out at a decent time," and then we get out, and I'm like, "Fuck, it's like fucking 2 o'clock. Like, what happened to getting out early?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that might be a good point though, D-Rock. Maybe they said, "Fuck it, let's turn it into a 5-round fight."
Dude, I feel like that's what happened. They're like, it's 11:30. You guys are going 2 extra, and that's why the doctor didn't stop the fight.
Yeah, that guy was bleeding, dude.
Dude, how
This
funny
was
was
the co-main event?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the gash
I thought
in
all
his
the
head,
co-main events were 5 rounds anyway.
No, only
No.
the main, unless it's a title fight.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
What's this title?
what is it? If it's a main event, it's a 5-round fight. It's a 5-round fight, even if it's not a title fight.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a main event.
And
Yeah.
if there's 2 title fights where one's co-main, the other's main,
Those are both.
that'll be it'll be 5 rounds. This was a non-title fight,
Yeah.
and we're talking about Moicano, who replaced Fiziev to fight Dos Anjos. He took that fight on like 6 days' notice.
And now he's got to go 2 extra rounds.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Insane.
good though. I mean,
Yeah, he looked alright. But I mean, in between rounds, like when the doctor was looking at him, dude, he looked like he was just like, "Please stop the fight."
Yeah.
but
Like,
I'm just saying, like
that's
to
what it
go
looked like,
to go
dude.
5 rounds on 6 days' notice. That's
Oh,
pretty
super
fucking good. Like
impressive.
you have
Yeah.
to be like
Well,
in
I
shape.
forgot who it was.
Didn't
I don't know
someone
if
do that with Khabib?
Ali Quinta, but
Ali
he
Quinta,
was
yeah.
training for another fight, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
Raging Al.
yeah, I feel like Ryan LaFleur might have said this. Like, I don't know if this would apply to last night's co-main event, but he said that like guys who are going to be a step and obviously are training like Alaquinta. Well, no, Alaquinta was going to fight somebody else, right?
He was supposed to fight somebody else on that card. That was the whole Khabib Conor thing where Conor threw like the fucking dolly at the bus and like
Yeah.
they lost a bunch of fights because of it.
Yeah.
I think Al was supposed to fight somebody else on that card, and then all this shit happened. So
Yeah, so I wonder if that guy, it was a 6-day notice, but was he training like he was going to fight? You know what I'm saying?
he just fought the Max a month ago.
Oh shit.
He fought hold on, let me find out.
But I feel like when you're that caliber of a fighter, like you kind of always have to be ready.
You think so?
Because what happens if somebody gets hurt and they're like, "Yo, we need somebody at your weight"? Like,
Yeah, but
do you
Dude,
wanna-
they're he's definitely one of those guys that's always in shape, and he had just fought, so he's still in some level of shape. But like 5
fight
rounds is
shape
a
is
different.
yeah,
5
yeah.
rounds
5
is
rounds
different.
is different.
Crazy,
Yeah, like
bro.
look at some of these guys that are at that level, like Nate Diaz, dude. They ripped Nate Diaz off like his vacation. to
Oh,
come
when he beat
fight.
Connor the first time?
Yeah,
That was
you know?
off the couch. That was
That's
dope.
actually like 6 years ago today.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so
Yeah, that
dope.
was-
That was like,
Dude, I was so happy.
I was so happy.
So happy for that.
My boy bet it too because he's like
Did he?
he's like a Connor hater, yeah. But that was awesome. And he's like, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Those odds are probably ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, he
Yeah.
fought February 12th. Moicano.
Wow.
Because that was when Connor was like fucking like untouchable. Like
Yeah.
that's when he used to just fucking mop everyone up.
Yeah, and that's when they were like really like
Like
handpicking his fights.
that Aldo fight when he tagged him like third. That was such bullshit that Aldo never got like a rematch for that.
I
Like
know.
that, it could be a fluke shot. Like
Yep.
the dude was like king of the division for so long. No, he never
He
got
never
it.
ended up getting the
No,
rematch?
because Connor moved up in weight and started fucking around with Nate. He was fighting at 170 and shit. So
But
like,
you know what's crazy? Like I said that about Conor, like from day one, that like they're handpicking the people he's going against. And now I read like online and shit that a lot of people say the same things about Khabib and his homeboy Islam or whatever.
Islam, yeah, and then
That these guys are like making a splash, they're like getting all this clout, and like they haven't even fought like a top
That hap-
5, top 10 fighter.
Well, that happens with Sean O'Malley too. Like they're like sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
is that the fruitcake with
that's
the
a fruitcake with the funny hair that looks like Takashi 6'9". So
that guy.
like people like he gets so hyped because his fights are exciting, but like they're not even. He wants to be top 10, but like he fought Cheeto and lost, and he doesn't acknowledge it as a loss. He still says he's undefeated because he broke I think his ankle or his
Yeah.
leg or some
That's a
shit.
loss, dog?
Yeah,
It's still a loss.
I'm like that's a loss, and he says he's
There's
still
a
like
number on your
unbeaten.
and there's a 1 in your loss column.
Yeah, that's an L, dog.
Dude, and I love Cheeto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome, bro.
Yo, how about
I
Thug
don't really love
Nasty beating
Cheetos so
fucking
much.
Barbosa?
Oh, I missed that. I was fucking showering. How was it?
Who, Rose?
No,
What?
no, he was thinking Thug Rose.
Oh
Yeah.
no, the
How do you say his last name? Was that was Mitchell?
yeah,
No.
Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce
what,
Mitchell.
what was the one? I seen a meme on it yesterday. It was like the guy's last name, and it's like, oh, this is what Joe Rogan has to pronounce. Like, who was that guy?
That was one of Khabib's boys, Shaman.
Yeah.
I showed you that
Yeah.
last night.
Yep. Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe it. Yo, and you were saying it too in the beginning, like, yo, he's a great like wrestler or at least grappler, right?
Yeah.
But Barboza was throwing like disgusting kicks at him like the first round, dude.
Barboza was picking him apart on the feet at first, and then
He timed it, I guess. Like he got his timing down for like punches and kicks. I don't know.
yeah, dude, he landed a brutal right hand. Like as me and Nick are watching, we're like, "Yo, Barboza looks slick. He might catch him." I'm like, "Yo, look, he's landing that low calf kick. He's gonna set this up, and then boom, straight right hand from fucking Thug Nasty." Barboza takes a seat and then did not get back up the rest of the fight.
Dude, it was insane.
Yeah.
I think Barboza's on his way out, dude.
Yeah, he's another one. He's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, and
Like
he was
Masvidal?
and he was in another organization too, right? He did Glory. Was he in a kickboxer?
No.
Barboza was never a kickboxer?
No.
Oh shit.
You're thinking of Giga Chikadze, who was fought in Glory.
Okay.
But yeah, Barboza's been around forever. Dude, Barboza fought in Ring of Combat back in the day, in like 2007 or 8. He fought Chris Schlesinger
Damn, he did.
in Ring of Combat, dude. Yeah.
He was there yesterday too.
Yeah.
Crazy Chris.
That guy's been around forever.
He has
Yeah.
been, dude. He has been. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think about how many people like.
Speaking of Chris Schlesinger, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
That's
off.
good.
Chris Schlesinger also fought Eddie Alvarez, dude. That kid's fought like 2 top 10 guys when they were like still coming up.
That's nuts.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. I guess everybody has to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy how long these guys actually last in this sport.
Oh man, look at how many fights Masvidal has. He's like 35-17 or some shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
Although those are all like combined though, right? Like his other organizations.
And
and
that's
his
his
street.
Not the street fight record.
No, that wasn't street
No,
fight.
I think that was UFC fights.
No,
No.
that's just MMA fights.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Because
think he has
Masvidal's
35.
Masvidal fought in Bodog, Strike Force, UFC.
He's been around.
He's fought in a lot of organizations.
5 rounds is fucking tough, man. But Kobe's conditioning's good. Like he was still bringing it. He got tagged though.
You can say a lot of shit about Colby's personality, but that motherfucker can fight.
Yeah, he can.
He's good. He's
he's a
got
good
that
grappler, too.
Yeah, he's got that wrestling background. He's a really good grappler. His striking has gotten a lot better. It did like Masvidal wasn't piecing him up on the feet.
No.
It was pretty even, and his cardio's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like Colby too, man. Like he understands that. Like, yo, if I just go in for the shot, this guy's now going to be afraid to bang with me because he knows I'm going to come in for a shot. Like, I feel like he understands that.
He does,
You know?
and he also understood that. Yeah, in the first 2 rounds, Masvidal is going to put up a fight. He's going to be hard to take down. He might stop 5 takedown attempts, but when I hit him with the 6th, then he's going to start to get tired. In that 3rd round, he's going to be even more tired.
Yeah,
And that's what he did.
Wrestling
That's exactly what
really
he did.
you grind people down, man.
Yeah.
Wrestling really wears you out.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
And-
somebody yesterday was just like, oh, when did this like fighting off the cage thing become popular? I'm like, dude, it's a whole aspect of the fight, dude.
Yeah.
It's been around.
Who said that?
since-
I forgot somebody last night.
It's like that's basically what you like fucking MMA is, unless
That's
you're
why
doing it in
there's
a
a cage
ring.
there, otherwise
Unless
it'd
you're
be in a
doing it
ring,
in,
exactly.
in a ring.
Cage fighting is like its own martial art to some degree. You know, like there's classes in MMA gyms across the fucking world where they literally have entire classes dedicated to cage grappling.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because I mean, you could win a fight just by keeping the guy up against the cage. No takedown, no real significant punches. But if like you
Right.
have him against the
Or
cage,
even
and he
take him
can't
down
move.
in the cage and keep him on there.
Yeah, but we're even just saying standing up.
Yeah.
Just the whole standing up aspect.
but there's a whole
Stand 'em up.
art.
Dirty boxing.
There's a whole art to that, man.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure.
And people that watch have no idea. Like it looks,
Those are the same people who are like, stand up, just stand,
Stand 'em
up.
up.
but because it
Twist
looks
his
like they're
dick.
not doing anything. But the cage grappling is
Oh,
the most
so hard.
brutal part. It's
I've
the
only
most,
done it once. No, I've done it twice actually at Freedom with Devin and
Yeah.
Sergio, and it was fucking terrible.
brutal.
Had
It's
to be
terrible.
exhausting.
It's the most exhausting part of a fight.
Yeah. I remember you pulled me over and you're like, yo, I want you to hop on Devin and fucking just keep him there. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, you know, it's funny when you think about it, especially, you know, when you see guys transitioning from jiu-jitsu and they're looking to start fighting, and it's like when it occurs to them that keeping somebody down that doesn't want to stay down is a lot harder. Like, because when you're doing jiu-jitsu is still an agreement. Like you're both
For the
agreeing
most part, they're agreeing to just
To do
chill
jujitsu with
on
you.
their back.
Yeah.
not necessarily stay on their back, but they're agreeing to do jiu-jitsu with
Yeah.
you to one degree or another. You know what I mean? And most of jiu-jitsu will take place, you know,
Like one
down.
Yeah.
And
At least one person on their back.
yeah, and MMA, you realize
don't
right
want
away,
that.
like, oh, this guy, there's no agreement here. This guy doesn't have to fucking do this with me. He can try to get up, and it's a lot. It's hard to keep somebody down, and then it's hard to keep somebody down and execute jiu-jitsu on them at the same time. It's you know.
Absolutely. Yo, so I just want to say one thing. Free Kane.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. I'm surprised it took us that long to touch on that, but man, that is so sad.
We had some other important things to talk about.
There was bigger headlines, Terry.
And you see, what fucking what Joe Rogan had to say. Should I pull up the exact quote?
Yeah, please pull it up so we could say word for word. I mean, it's just a bizarre situation for him. I mean, I guess it's not too bizarre. I'm sure there's probably situations out there that probably played out the same way it did for Kane.
I think he should have been 100% in his rights to fucking.
No, I'm not disagreeing that. I'm just saying, like, you know, he finds out some horrible news. His niece, right? We saying niece?
I thought it was his daughter.
His daughter.
I've heard a bunch of different things. First, I heard it was his niece. Then I heard it was his daughter. So I don't know.
Yeah. So it was.
I mean, regardless, either way,
it was a family member of
Terrence.
Of
I got
degree.
the quote.
You got it.
And it's like he winds up finding the guy, ramming him with his car. You know, and this is all on, like, you know, social media. I don't know the story 100% if it's accurate or not. But he pulls out his gun and he shoots into the car and winds up missing the guy and hits the driver. You know, it's like that shit is just, it sucks. But you know, like, that to me is bizarre. You know, there's a million ways that you could have probably handled that. You know?
I'm telling you, dude, he was not in his right mind.
You know, I agree with you.
You can't be in your right mind on that.
I think he's got a legitimate defense to temporary insanity. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Joe Rogan said, my only wish is that he just ran the car off the road, pulled that guy out of the fucking car, and beat him to death. Fuck you.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when you said he shot the gun. Like, if he would have hit the car.
Oh, so he killed somebody else.
He shot him. He didn't kill him.
He didn't kill him.
No leg.
Oh, he didn't kill him?
No.
But, yeah, it would have been a whole lot better if he ran the car off the road, picked that guy out of the car, and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, or I mean, how about this? I mean, and this goes.
Or how about this? Not let the fucking guy out of jail.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what D-Rock says. I mean, like, the guy obviously wasn't thinking clearly for a sloppy of a job that he did, but, like, how about even just waiting for him to come out of his house somewhere on a rainy day when he's looking down
Not
his
even that.
feet?
Why the fuck is that guy out on the streets?
You
Well,
know
supposedly
why?
that's what happened. That I don't know how true this is. Just like random reports I heard. So I guess allegedly this guy, there was a report made about him. He got booked. He got put in jail, and he got let out on some, like, ridiculously low bail, where apparently even the DA was like, this is insane, you shouldn't be letting this guy out. So they let him out, and the speculation is that when Kane heard this, flipped out that this guy was back in the street, and supposedly also they shot him. Kane shot him while he was on his way to go check in and get his ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
As like part of his release.
And I know you guys say, like, oh, it wasn't planned out, he could have been better, blah blah blah, but, like, if you know someone's, like, molesting your kid, and you know you got a crack
over
at
100 times
and,
too.
and you know you could get a crack at him, like, you're not like trying to plan it out methodically. You're just trying to go. It's on site.
He's raging.
Kill that person.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I agree to what D-Rock said, where he could probably get off by, you know, temporary insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
So Dana White said something interesting too, and he said, I obviously feel sorry for him and his family. It's a horrible thing. I don't know enough details to speak on it, but from what I've heard, we all say we'd do it if it ever happened to us, and Kane did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
Right.
You know, everybody says it. Like, yo, if that was me, I'd do the same thing. Well, like, yeah, Kane went out and did it.
Kane went out and did it.
Yeah, so what do you think the outcome is going to be? You think any of these charges are going to stick? He has a shit ton.
Ton of charges on
Really?
him. Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, like premeditated murder, a whole bunch of gun charges.
Like, I think illegally carrying a gun, like a gun with an intent
like,
to commit a felony.
Yeah, and then there's two weird ones. It's like illegally discharging a firearm and then illegally discharging a firearm on a moving vehicle. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like, that's an even separate thing. Like, oh, you shot at a car, separate charge.
I think the outcome should be the two of them in a cage for 5 minutes.
I know.
Well, whatever. The only bright side to this, and I don't. It's the only word I can choose to
gonna, like,
use here.
set a
It's not.
precedent.
Well, not only that, like, this guy now who was the offender is famous. So that guy, when he goes to prison, you know what they do to those guys. In there. And it's going to be like, you know how many people are probably in prison that are
Yeah, but that's
Cain
even-
Velasquez fans? That guy's not lasting.
Is that guy even going to go to fucking prison?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, look at the way it was in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the way they are. Is that guy even going to fucking make it into a jail cell?
He might
Well,
not.
I'm sure he will eventually.
Yeah, I mean, he's still waiting his trial for his charges, but, you know, it wasn't like, okay, you're released, you know, with your freedom, but you have to wear this ankle bracelet. Like, he was just released on bail.
No, I get that, but, like, is this fucking California? Is a guy even going to get charged with anything?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like,
He might skate.
is it? Yeah.
He might skate.
Yeah.
You know, which
But
is fucked up.
He's likely to do something stupid again, which will get him in jail.
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to hope for, but you know.
Yeah, but now another kid is
No, I
fucking
know, yeah.
like
No,
yeah,
it's
how
ridiculous.
many is it going to be? You
right.
know?
How many before they take all these fucking assholes? Like,
Well, that's the thing too with the world, man. Like, there's so much shit that like doesn't make sense. You know, like their whole justice system in California, all the homeless people.
It's ridiculous.
You know, I mean, like they said, like Biden approved something where like people are going to get money in crack pipes. You know, like
Yeah, we got
it's
it
like-
here.
Yeah, it's insane. So you know, I mean, I hope the best for him, dude. It's shitty, and like I said, it's shitty because like, thank you. It was just, you know, it was out of rage. He wasn't thinking. He went out there and just acted. You know, so I mean, free Kane, baby, free Kane.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll get off with some of it. He might like have to, you know,
do jail time for sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying he might like if they charge him with 10 things, like he might only get hit with maybe like 2, you know,
Right.
versus all 10.
Yep.
You know, I think like they're probably gonna do like, because you got to think like if you're a judge, like you gotta like feel for this guy, you know, like you would do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I know, but that's a problem though. They can't feel for him.
Yeah, well,
You know, they
Sure.
can't. They got to sit there and hey, listen, we have these in effect. This is the law.
yeah.
This is
well,
it.
but
We
like
gotta follow
D-Rock
it.
said, like, you know, temporary insanity. Yeah,
Right,
That could be a
Yeah, I
huge
think
thing.
that's going to be the biggest thing of his defense.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think like
no, only
the way we're
only
speculating.
permanent insanity gets to fucking be good in California because look at all the shit that they're going through.
Yeah.
Only if you're permanently insane, not temporary.
I don't know, man. Like, because everybody says the same thing that Nick says. It's like, dude, that was crazy sloppy, and like, why wouldn't you think it out and plan it? Because he was,
Because he
fucking because he was probably overwhelmed with emotion and furious, and was just like, this guy fucking brutalized my kid. You know, like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and that's the thing. Like, I understand people don't want vigilante justice and shit like that, but there's not a single person in the world, judge or juror, that's not going to be like, yeah, I can understand how he lost his mind right there.
Right.
Right.
That's what I meant by like have some empathy for them. You know, like
Yeah.
understand that like where he's coming from.
He's gonna get stuck with some charges no matter what.
Right.
But I don't know if he's gonna get stuck with all of them. Obviously, I'm not a fucking lawyer, but I mean, if there's any goddamn justice in this world, he gets a slap on the wrist.
yeah, or he spends a couple of years in jail.
If there's any
not 25
justice,
to
he would
life.
get 5 minutes in a cage with that guy.
I know.
If there was
That's-
any
that's
well,
real
there was
justice.
justice
in
Nick,
that.
that
we've
way.
talked about this before, and I showed you the video. There was a case back in like the 80s. There was a guy from Texas. His son, I don't remember all the details, but his son got molested repeatedly by like
Yeah, he
was
went out and shot the guy, and he got
kidnapped,
off.
right?
he had shot the guy in the airport. They were bringing the guy.
Yeah, and the guy got off.
Yeah, and he shot him on camera in the airport, and he got off. I think he served like a year in jail.
Okay, so shouldn't that set like a precedent? And like, can he use that?
Texas and California are different.
Yeah.
They're two
is it
totally
Texas?
different
Oh.
fucking legal systems.
Yeah, it was in
Gotcha.
Texas. I mean, the video was bananas, though, dude.
Yeah, dude,
He
he's
was-
on a payphone.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like black and white, right?
No.
In the 80s, bro.
This is the 80s, bro. This is the 80s.
Come on, Remy.
They had color in the 80s,
This is
bro.
the 80s, homie.
I mean, it was VHS and shit, but
They had color. Damn, dude, your perception of the 80s is a lot different than mine, bro. It's so
well, it's
funny.
because Remy didn't see the 80s.
Yeah, I wasn't in the 80s, bro.
Yo, it was in black and white, right?
Remy wasn't around till 2000s.
Oh my god, that shit's so funny.
Or the 90s.
Oh my god.
What are you, 94?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wouldn't fucking know anything till the 2000s.
Yeah, bro. This guy doesn't even remember Biggie and Tupac getting killed.
No, he definitely doesn't, dude. That was an era, dude. East Coast, West Coast bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was
That
like
shit was
10 years
dope.
old when that happened.
Yeah, I forgot how old I was. I was probably
I was-
like.
Were you guys
were-
all,
we
were you
were in
guys all
middle
Biggie,
school.
or was anyone riding with Tupac?
I
really-
love both of them, to be honest with you.
I
Yeah,
like
they were
I like
boys.
Biggie more because my cousin was into Biggie, and that's who I kind of listened to more.
Yeah.
I think
But
Hit 'Em
as
Up.
I grew up, I liked
Hit 'Em Up
both
was-
of them.
Hit him up is what got him killed.
Hit 'Em Up is like the best fucking diss track ever, still to this day,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's like
You
the
want
track
fuck your
that
bitch.
kind of
First
like
off,
led
fuck
to
your
him getting
bitch in the
killed, I
click
feel
you
like.
claim.
Yep.
Because he went off on everybody
Yeah.
and threatened to kill all of them. Like Lil' Kim, snatch your ugly ass off the streets.
Yeah. Fuck beats.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yo, and it starts. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Yeah.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife.
Dude, that's fucking aggressive.
That is
Yeah.
aggressive.
He had bars.
He did.
Bars.
I was a Biggie guy though. I enjoyed like the storytelling.
Yeah. He
You
was
know.
dope.
Biggie had the best flow ever, and I just thought Tupac was really very diverse too. Like you listen to Tupac, it's like you listen to Brenda's Got a Baby and then hit him up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, Dear Mama, Brendan's got a baby.
Yeah.
Hit him off.
yeah, you know.
I feel like Tupac was more of like the lyricist where he like put things together well, but Biggie was like he could paint a picture with his words. Like you could follow along and be like, oh shit.
Dude,
you
his
know?
flow is so dope.
Yeah, he was dope.
Dude, Biggie outshined Bone Thugs and Harmony on the track that was like geared towards their style.
Yeah.
You know, Notorious Thugs. And I thought Biggie did a better job at it than them. And that's like the style that they fucking, you know, they owned. It was unique to them. Like that to
Even-
me was like, God damn, that guy's good.
All of them from back then.
Is Biggie in your top 5?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Top 3?
I always was curious. Top 3? I don't know, man. For me, it's like Rakim.
Ooh, the master, bro. 18th letter.
And Rakim, honestly, it's close, man. But I think Rakim actually has a better flow than Biggie, which is it's tough to say. But
Yeah, he does. And even just like his wordplay, dude, his storytelling, like I think he crushes Biggie. I think
he's just
top
so
3,
smooth.
Biggie's on top 3 for me.
Who's in your top 3?
Spice Girls.
Eric Clapton.
Jewel
Eric Clapton.
Jewel.
Backstreet Boys.
and Bjork.
and Green Day, dude.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
Yo,
Backstreet
Green Day
Boys.
actually was pretty good.
Oh,
Green Day
they
was
were
awesome.
cool.
Dude, I've been a hip hop head since
Yo, Green Day was great.
cassette tapes, bro.
Yeah, you know who I had my iPod, my earpod things in, and like had it on random, and
Shuffle.
Slick, whatever, fuck you, Slick Rick. I heard a Slick Rick song for like the first time in like months. I was like, holy shit, I forgot about this guy.
Yeah. Always wearing like one eye patch. He had two he had 2 working eyes, but he wore one eye patch.
Well, I mean, that's like Nelly, who wore the Band-Aid for no reason.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I
wasn't
don't.
that for his brother?
Yeah, who was in
Or
jail.
his cousin? Or
Oh, is that
something?
what that was?
Yeah, it was some symbolic shit. But I mean, like, Slick Rick, you got 2 working eyes, bro. Like,
There's no need for
You know,
that.
Yeah.
you know what I always wonder, because we talk about like Biggie and Pac and shit, and obviously their lives got cut short, but they're legends. Like, I always wondered what, you know, like what would they be up to now? Like, you see what Jay-Z's doing now. And,
They
like,
probably- I
let's
was
be
gonna
honest,
say they'd be do.
Jay-Z fell off big time.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, I thought Jay-Z's last like solid album was the Black Album.
Black Album was dope.
Yeah.
I was never.
I don't think
Jay-Z
their
fan.
music would be
Jay-Z
where it
and
was,
Linkin Park.
but they'd be.
Yeah, that was
great.
so good.
Such a great one.
Yeah, well,
Okay, say-
it's definitely not an '80s kid.
Oh, I thought you could be like, yeah, I was just talking there.
No, I
Lemmy
was
the
just,
Cutoff King.
Well, that.
Nobody cares when Luigi talks.
Fuck, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
You said that you think Biggie and Tupac would still be doing something, maybe not.
Oh yeah,
making-
they'd be doing like kind of like what Dr. Dre was doing, and like and fucking what's his name, Russell Simmons, and all those. Like
Yeah.
they'd be doing something like that.
No, but
I don't
also-
think their music would be. I think their music wouldn't be the same, because if you look at all these guys, their music's good when they're not famous or like have money,
Mainstream.
and then once they get that money, they're like, fuck, they get out of that struggle, and they're like, all right, well, I don't have the shit like to talk about.
I
like that.
always wondered about that because like
I feel like when you rap about things like Biggie always raps about stuff like in his day-to-day life, which a lot of people can relate to. And then like he said, when you get money, you rap about what? Like fucking cars, watches,
well, yeah,
shit
that's
that
like the
people
bling
can't
bling era
relate
that
to.
came around, you know. But like, I always wondered because Jay-Z, I started to feel like after the Black Album, he just knew he was at a level where whatever he put out was going to be hits, and he was just like, it doesn't matter what I say, I could fucking literally fart over a beat and it's going to go platinum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he got to that level, I felt like, and I just was always curious if, like, you know, Biggie's like 4th or 5th album might have been like, fuck, dude, this sucks. Like,
Yeah, and then I also think too, like, do you think the game would be different?
100%.
Do you think that they would have been so impactful on like the whole rap industry that like it would be different?
I think so. Like, I
Yeah,
remember
'cause look at the impact that they have
in a short amount of
just being
time.
dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I also think that, like in, I think it was Method Man who talked about this. I remember this. It was like an interview a while ago. He was saying like if Biggie and Pac had still been around, like these other rappers would have never got on, like some of the, you know, like the mumble rappers, and she's like, you would have never seen this happen, you know, like he said, like the level of hip hop has fallen off so much now. Like back in the day when you had all these guys that were legitimate lyricists, he's like, these people would have never been able to get on ever,
No,
because they would have maintained that standard,
Like the
longer.
mumble rap, you're saying?
Like
I think
that
it would've-
standard would have been maintained longer. That these guys would have never been able to get on. Dude, like if you look at the golden era of hip hop, none of these people could have made it. None of these other rappers could have made it because they literally have zero skills.
Yeah, but as time went on and like Remy's generation, like they stopped understanding what good music was.
Right, but what I'm
Of course, you didn't have.
no, but you still had all of it. You know, you still had. I mean,
No,
just because you lost Biggie and Pac,
Well,
there
that-
was still other
Yeah, but
rappers.
not,
that
not as impactful as they were.
They're saying that these guys would have stayed around and dominated the scene so much that nobody
There
would
wasn't
even
gonna be room for
the
anyone
exposure
else.
to that stuff was not going to happen.
Yeah, but
as
I think
much.
it's the way the world evolved and shit. Like it might not have happened right away or as
right.
fast
But the way
as
the
it did,
world
but
evolved was with them dying, so that definitely.
yeah, but, so it just would have took a little bit longer.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with D-Rock because I feel like if Biggie and Pac were still around, other people after them would have tried to simulate them. They would have been more impactful on like the music itself. You lost two icons, so now everyone's like, oh, it's like losing bosses in the mafia. Oh, who wants to be the next boss? So everybody rushes to that top tier, and it's like, you know,
Yeah,
you
but
get some, you
eventually
get some
those
watered
ones
down-
would have made their way in because
I don't think
of,
they would have.
It's because of the audience.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The audience grew up now without having them.
Yeah, but eventually it would have been to the point where the audience didn't have them. You know what I mean? Like you said, their fourth or fifth album might not have been as
Right,
good.
but now you look at, you said like what Dre and all these other guys are doing. You would have had Tupac and Biggie still in the scene,
Producing other rappers.
No, I think
and directing people.
I'm agreeing. I just think it would not have happened. It just would have happened maybe 10 years later.
I disagree. I don't think it would have happened at all, honestly, because I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying it's not a possibility because like these people obviously existed, but I just think the landscape of what was popular and what wasn't, and like Nick was just saying, these guys would have went on to produce other rappers. Like Biggie was already trying to get the firm established and all that. Like, I just don't think. I think there would have been just too much of a different standard for what is good and what isn't, that those guys would have. I don't think they would have made it to the table.
And also guidance too. You know, they would have guided these rappers.
Right.
You know, they would have gave them
Paved the
beats.
path.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, like I do agree with Luigi to an extent, but I don't think that mumble rap and the bullshit music would have been so out of control. Because there was a couple years, man, where it was like there was some bullshit being produced and people were loving
still
it.
is.
You know. So I think that it might have surfaced, but I don't think it would have like
Took off.
Yeah, the way that it did. I mean, there was some times where it was just like, yo, like what the fuck is this guy saying? Like you couldn't even understand them. People were loving it. You know, I think like it would have been sprinkled around just like the South when the South started coming out with their Chopped and Screwed.
Yeah.
Right. It was like, all right, there was a little bit of that. You know, but it wasn't taking.
It didn't
over.
take over. There was like sprinkles and influences of it, but I don't think it would have become what it is. Like, dude, I mean, I had fucking my Spotify on shuffle the other day, and Post Malone came on.
Not random.
No, not random. Two totally different settings. Post Malone came on. That song, Congratulations.
Yeah.
And
Post Malone's like,
I love Post Malone. He makes good music. I'm not saying he's like a hard rapper like the guys were saying, but he does make good music.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to talk about Post Malone. He's got the guy from Migos on it. He does a guest
Quavo.
Yeah, dude, this is the dumbest verse I've ever heard in my life. He's literally, and I remember I was driving to practice, and I listened to this. I'm like, what the fuck? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Dude, that's Remy's favorite song.
He's like, Post Malone, I gotta play on my phone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, literally, there's no structure.
And
It's
there's
just
no
like
thought process.
Yeah,
You didn't
it's
even
just
put any time into
Malone
it.
phone. Doesn't matter.
rhymes.
If they're but that's like it's a fucking nursery rhyme.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you Remy, go when you have some spare time and listen to Rakim. Like the words, his vocabulary, his fucking arsenal of words. It's like that's what D-Rock's getting at. Like,
Yeah, there's
it rhymes.
structure behind
No,
it.
I
Like,
was joking.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being
You know,
serious.
I
Like,
feel
yeah,
like-
wait, it rhymes. What's the big deal?
I feel like these types of rappers, it's like, you know those magnets that you put on the fridge? They're just letters.
Yeah.
That's how they rap. They just mix it all up and like, that's a word.
Yeah, or the ones that repeat the same shit the entire
Do they say
song.
like 3 words in song and that's it?
Yeah, and it's the
Or
entire
they just make
song.
noises. What?
Snoop Dogg had a thing where he was like imitating like those like rappers do. He's like, skitty bop bop, boop
Yeah.
bop bop. It was the funniest shit.
He had an interview where he just shit on all the mumble rappers.
Yeah, man. Because think about it. It's like, I don't know. It's a little disrespectful. You
Yeah.
got guys that like made it in art, that took
Yeah.
time into what they were saying. And you just got kids that are coming out now, like D-Rock said, making sounds into mics, saying the same 3 lines.
Using
over
auto tune.
Yeah.
Dude, Copyright has one of the best lines, and I think it applies to it so like perfectly. He's like, I don't blame you for being whack. I blame your fans for being dumb enough to listen to it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, is the fans would have been dumb enough eventually to start liking that.
I understand what you're saying.
It might have took a little longer, but the fans dumped because
The fans wouldn't have had the massive exposure to allow it to hit as many dumb ears.
yeah,
as
but
it
look at how
has.
many dumb people there are now.
I understand that, but
You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
discounting your point. I'm not saying that it's not a possibility. The reason why I disagree is because I think that the standard that would have been maintained wouldn't have given those things the exposure to hit all those stupid ears.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it definitely would have came out, but it wouldn't have fucking ran the billboards and the fucking radio
Look
for.
at everything going on in the world today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's different though than
It's deep.
music. It's deep, bro. It's fucking deep. Motherfucker's deep over here.
I don't know, man. I miss, and I can't believe, I feel like I'm like that guy now. Like back in my day.
Yeah.
We are
But
that guy.
you're not the only one though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's common. Even like some of like the young kids, like they even appreciate like what Biggie and Tupac did and like how like ahead of their time they were.
Yeah.
So you're not like washed in saying that. Like everyone agrees. Like
Because
there's
music sucks now.
yeah.
It's awful. Fucking
It's the
SoundCloud
worst.
era.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I know. No more music videos, dude.
Dude, TRL used to be the shit.
Dude,
Yo, I remember
loved
going
it.
home, watching getting home from school. Like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Waiting for a little Kim music video to pop on.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Some pasties.
Remember, like, it used to
Foxy
be
Brown's music video. Where
Foxy
she was
Brown,
sitting on the
what a
fucking.
What a whore.
She's like sitting on the thing with like half a nipple out.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like that.
Man,
was like
I used to
Showtime
just straight
porn,
watch
bro.
music videos were like art back then. Like it
Yeah.
was like so fucking cool.
Missy Elliott.
They would spend
Is
like
it worth it? Let me work it.
No, the rain. Let me feel the rain.
No, I can't stand the rain.
Oh, all right. I can't stand the
Let me feel the
No,
rain.
Let Me Feel the Rain is like a Keith Sweat R&B song, dude.
rain. Yo, another good one, bro. Keith Sweat's another good
dude,
one.
even R&B back
Got
in the day.
me twisted.
Like Usher and shit.
Yeah,
Usher was
Well,
good, man.
Yeah,
before him,
dude.
but yeah, that.
I always wanted to dance like Usher, dude.
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
was
could
sick.
dance.
Dude, I would be moving down the
Dude, I saw
the
you
shopping.
breakdancing.
I'd be moving down the store aisles
hey,
like him,
hey,
like, dude, like grabbing shit off the-
hey.
Who's the other one that was really good at dancing?
Who?
Who was the other one that was really
Chris
good at dancing?
Brown?
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Chris Brown could
Usher,
fucking
no,
move,
but Usher
bro.
had it.
No,
though,
Usher
dude.
and Chris Brown though. They were like the
Dude,
two.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby
Bobby
Brown.
Brown.
It's my prerogative.
Yeah, dude, he fell off, dude.
yeah,
Dude, he like ruined Whitney Houston. She had like fucking.
I don't know if
The
it was
whole-
him. I think it was drugs that ruined both
Whoa.
of them.
No, but I'm saying, but like he was
introduced
the
her to
one.
drugs, bro.
Yeah.
This is Bobby.
Is this weed? No, just hit it. It's
Yo,
great.
Whitney,
She
dude,
died
like,
young, man. She
yeah,
had the
and-
pipes.
Dude, she still has like the best national anthem rendition of all
they
time.
play it on the radio like every fucking day.
1991 Bills Giants, one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. She did the national anthem.
Was that
It's
wide left or
bananas.
wide right? Whatever one when
Yeah,
they missed the
yeah,
field goal.
Scott Norwood.
Yeah.
Laces out, Dan.
Yeah, that was
Laces
she.
out, Dan.
Yeah, she had an incredible voice. It's sad, like what drugs do to people, because like she was like at the top of the top. Like
Yes.
she was loaded, like had everything, and like didn't have the right people around her, and
I
like
know.
went down the wrong
and
path.
like you're a fucking millionaire. Like, why are you smoking crack?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Isn't that the poor man's drug?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
why are you smoking crack? It's like
Like
being
that
into
high.
alcohol and you get like Georgie's instead of like some nice vodka or some shit.
Yeah.
Dude, crack is so crazy. Like, not to like turn this into like
You could turn it into whatever
politics
you
and
want.
shit like that, but like, yo, it's so crazy that Crack and cocaine are like a molecule off.
Yeah, it's just baking soda or some shit. Like they microwave it with baking soda.
What?
I think they just add baking soda to the mix.
It's just a cheaper version of it,
yeah,
right?
it's like they cut it with baking soda.
Yeah, and you cook it. You could, if me and Nick were in the car together or in separate cars and we both got pulled over, Nick has cocaine and I have crack on me, I'm going to jail for 25 years.
Yeah.
Just because it's crack.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's a one little rock.
I thought they were giving you free crack pipes now.
They are.
Well, that's now, but I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the big difference too is if like I got pulled over, I had coke and you had crack, I would just snort it really quick, so there was no evidence. You'd be stuck with rocks in your pocket.
I'd just keistered it.
Oh God, dude.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, well, because I know I'd get it out. Luigi would go fishing later.
Yeah, serious. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. I always thought that was so weird. It's like, why are all these celebrities like doing crack? Like, and you know what it is. Like, it was like.
Yeah, how do you look at a drug, like even just like heroin, like, oh, look, that's what I'm going to turn into? All right, let me try that.
Yeah. You see
Dude,
like
that's why I never.
Like I'm going to go from this to that.
Right. That's why.
That's perfect. Let me go.
That's why I never tried E, dude. I remember I was in high school. I went to a house party. This kid, he was like going to school in like Manhattan. His parents were always traveling. He was older than us, so he's like, yeah, house party at my crib. I walked through the garage, right, of the house, and like right when you go into the house, it's the living room. There was a big L-shaped couch, and every motherfucker on that couch was rolling on E. Dudes had Vicks Vapor Rub rubbed all over their face with a fan. Another dude has a baby toy that vibrates. He was pulling the cord and just rubbing it on his body. And I'm sitting there.
Weird, right?
I'm sitting there smoking a blunt, and I'm like, I'm never doing that drug.
Yeah,
I'm like, do you see what these guys look like? Dude? I just started laughing hysterical, and I never tried E for that reason.
It like heightens all your senses. Like everything feels better. Like if you get a massage
awesome,
or something, it feels like fucking
Yeah, but
amazing.
I never wanted to look like
every
them.
song. It's like the best song you've ever heard.
Yeah, I never wanted to look like them, dude.
You know, like what you guys are saying, like if you're a millionaire, why are you doing crack? Because like I gotta think that when you get as famous as Whitney Houston was, life gets real weird, man.
Yeah. You can't go anywhere. You can't have a normal life. Like you can't go to the store and get groceries.
Let me try this.
I was rewatching the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan.
How good is that
It's one
fucking
of the best ever.
dude?
I've watched it like 5
amazing.
times.
So good.
And
watched it 5 times.
But he was talking about how he got to a level of fame where like he couldn't go and do anything.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Oh man, he had worldwide fame, like all over. Like everyone in China's like wearing his jerseys, like
But you know how
Olympics and everything.
That's
like,
gotta be super
shitty
weird.
that becomes like a prison. I feel.
Yeah, like you're trapped in like your own
fame.
Or success. Yeah,
You just got to sit home because if you go anywhere, you're going to be mobbed. You're the most recognizable face in the world.
Yeah, and everybody wants a piece of you.
Yeah, dealing with paparazzi and fans.
You know, and it's like you have to be on the whole time.
You can't have you can't have a bad day.
Yeah, you can't have one bad interaction because then
you can't go out like scrubbed out in like sweatpants and shit. Like you have to like put on like a facade. Like you can't like be yourself.
Yeah. Rogan talks about it a lot, where like he'll be out to dinner and people come up to him like, "Can I get a picture?" He's like, "Dude, I'm eating with my family."
Yeah, that's so hard.
That's why it's like good to be a famous jiu-jitsu guy like Gordon Ryan. Like everyone in jiu-jitsu knows who he is, but nobody else knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I'd rather be rich than famous.
Did you guys see what Gordon? He created a new Instagram account where he breaks down his matches.
Oh no!
Really fucking cool. Like
it's pretty
in depth. It's good, right?
Yeah,
He puts
I've seen
like
a few of them.
he
It's
like
a whole new Instagram account because I saw he was doing that on his regular
with
one.
like an underscore or something. So like that the Gordon loves
Called Gordon
jiu-jitsu.
Shuffles.
No, it's Gordon loves jiu-jitsu, and then it's got like an underscore. But he breaks down every match. He did it a couple times on his regular account,
and then he made a new
and
one.
then he made a new one for that.
Yeah, but he was showing like Craig Jones arm barring the shit out of him.
I saw that.
And how like
he didn't tap.
He said like
He talks about why how he moved around to not tap,
and how he was fighting for like 10 or 20K. He said like movement is like the enemy of like submission. So like he just kept fucking moving, and basically he ended up escaping, but not after his arm was broken.
He didn't escape. Time ran out.
Oh, time ran out.
His
I
arm
thought that
broke?
was overtime. His arm.
No.
He says in the comment that his arm broke worse than like it's ever been broken before.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't know it broke.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Listen, we gotta wrap this up.
No question of the day. I don't.
No.
Dude, no one's even in here yet. I'd say
No,
we keep
it's
it rocking.
It's getting late.
We got 10 minutes.
We can't push it with 12.
Damn, dude, we're just the boys are cooking. I don't want to
You go
stop.
around icing dicks before they get sucked too.
Dude.
Fucking
Listen,
fun killer over
it ain't
here.
my rules, bro.
It's the new girls' rules.
Yeah, they're already setting up.
All right, well, I want to
right.
thank you guys for being there yesterday. It was
I want to
Yeah,
thank
thank
you
you guys
for
for
going.
coming.
course,
it was a
man, of
fucking
course.
awesome experience. Like, definitely felt the
When you
love.
mean you guys, you mean me and Nick, because Luigi was
Silver
there.
medals.
I was there
Yep,
too.
Silver Medal Brothers right there.
Yeah, I didn't know second place is first loser, but it feels pretty fucking good.
It does, dude.
Well,
It
dude,
does.
it's funny you said it because I think we were talking about this when we were walking up. Somebody was talking about a guy who was like, yeah, I won third place. I'm like, you don't win third or second place. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only win gold.
Yeah.
Right? You get silver. You get bronze. You win gold.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Word.
that's deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're all proud of you guys. I mean, Remy, you did great. You
Thank
always
you.
do.
Yeah,
Terrence,
man, awesome.
that's a big leap, man. You know, a fucking
Yo,
year.
one question, Terrence. Do you feel sore at all today, or like any banged up, bruise, anything like that?
I feel my ear hurts. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got like a little bit of like mat burn on like my feet and shit, but nothing like too crazy.
Yeah, we're real proud of you, man. It was a year in the works, so we're
Yeah.
happy that you went out there.
Yeah, you guys
Doing
really
all
helped.
those Breathe guys, visual inspections on Remy. All
Yeah,
this.
serious. Big shout out to all the Breathe guys that competed. Freedom as well. D-Rock, good job coaching
Freedom
the
in
boys
the
yesterday.
house.
Thank you.
Dude, if it wasn't for you guys, like I would have bounced. Like after there was like so much doubt and everything like going through my head, I was kind of like, why the fuck am I doing this? I don't need to be here. I don't need to prove
all
this shit
good.
to like anybody.
It's all good.
But I'm really happy that you guys were there and
Yeah,
that
man.
I fucking hung around.
We wouldn't miss it for a
no-gi.
world.
Dude, that picture of you getting your hand raised is the greatest picture
Yeah,
of all
with the
time.
smile.
You're
Go to-
so happy. It's like
Go to our Instagram if you want to see that
I put
picture.
my other arm up too.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Yeah.
Doyle rules.
Yeah, big shout out to Island Kava for always letting us come here and record. You guys are in the area, come check them out. Big shout out to Total Motion 360. Go check them out as well if you're looking for a new innovative way to work out. Be Remy Fit.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
helping out some of the athletes over at Breathe Jiu-Jitsu. So if you're an athlete or someone that just wants to get into shape, he definitely knows his shit. Asar over at Relax and Revive. I'm sure some of the competitors from yesterday are going to go there.
For sure.
Might actually go today.
Yeah. And that's it, yo.
Wait, one little thing.
Did you get Total Motion?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for some
Big news.
big news coming soon about the submission grappling world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on the Jits and Tits page for some pictures of these boys competing, and follow us as well. We're gonna drop some teasers. So
Yeah, we got some T-shirts too. So go to our website and
We'll
Shop.
see you guys.
Jits and
what,
T
March
podcast.
26th?
March
Podcast.
26th. We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
Ta ta.